All right, let's roll. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between along for the ride. From Costa Rica to California, Montreal to Minnesota, the late night anger management class has begun. As we step up and in on this Friday night, it is the Freak Show. Big man on campus, not a freak, but he'll be joining us with some freaky picks a little bit later on. I think it's barber shop night for Big Man on campus. He likes to get his hair done for the Friday night segments. So I can't confirm that, but I got a message from Big Man stating, how's 11? Normally he's all fired up. When do you want me to come on? Right away off the top? But Big Man on campus will join us about 11 o'clock Eastern. So all you Big Man on campus fans, you can go away and come back if you're just tuning in for him. But we appreciate those of you who are joining us here this evening. As we step up and in, and the holidays are coming, man. I've avoided it as much as I possibly can, but it's pretty much arrived. Bowl season is here. Yeah, I know it's the holidays because I can't escape hockey on TV right now. Bob McKenzie talking about who the third-string goalie for Team Canada and the World Junior is going to be. There's women's hockey on right now. We've been pretty fortunate, man. We've got a lot of NBA basketball on TV this year, but I'm dying right now. I got like poker on TV, WWE main event, NHL hockey, fucking hockey. Nothing but hockey, man. San Jose Sharks and the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know. Let's take the Sharks. DJ Big Boss Guy. I'm live in Vegas. Give me a shot. Shoot me a shot. A shot of what? WWE stock on fire. WWE stock always goes up before WrestleMania. It's like Halloween with pumpkins. You're damn right it's a bad late card. There's nothing going on, man. We've got some football going on, and we're looking at splits if we're lucky. Now, we talked last night about Mary Hardin Baylor. Mary Hardin Baylor motherfucking blow. They play like a team called Mary Hardin. They're fucking terrible. I don't know who they were. Like, they won 29 games in a row. They must have been playing against fucking teams coached by that jackass that tried to fucking be a federal judge today. Have you ever been in a courtroom at all once? Well, I watched the People's Court. Judge Wapner. I don't even know if this guy knows the People's Court. If you honestly, I thought that was going to be the next question. Have you ever watched Judge Judy before? Have you ever heard of the People's Court? Yeah, shady murder in Toronto tonight, right up the street from me. One of the richest men in Canada and in North America, big pharmaceutical guy. I believe he's a pharmaceutical guy. Him and his wife both found dead in their mansion. Foul play suspected. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yeah. Rich people just suddenly die in their mansion. Yeah, nothing happened there. Yes, I do. Yes, I do think Oregon will cover tomorrow. I think Oregon's going to blow them out. Just as I thought the Houston Rockets would beat up on the Spurs tonight, 27-16 right now. We got a piece of the over. Like the Rockets, but I bailed from giving it on TV. We gave the Bulls plus the points on TV. The Bulls are a covering machine. They were getting big points. Right now, they're plus 165 on the money line. It might be a little ambitious, but I'm an ambitious person, so let's take a shot. Chicago Bulls plus 165 on the money line. They're going to cover the spread. Bulls are on fire right now as far as the ATS is concerned. Atlanta Hawks are up 90-85, 98-98 Bulls and Bucks with 5 minutes left. The Oklahoma City Thunder are up 117-116 with $1:31 left. This has been an entertaining game. I was going to give the over of this. I did give the over today. I don't know if I did, actually. I've been rattled today. I did something I normally don't do. I took picks off the sheet. Normally, I'm adding picks. 117, 117. 76ers playing a lot of crazy games. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. The Houston Rockets, it's hard to say they're not the real deal right now. The Rockets just continue to beat up on teams. San Antonio's overrated, even with Kawhi Leonard. They're not on Houston's level now. 16 points from the Spurs so far. Fucking pathetic, man. Terrible. Like, really? This is a massive revenge spot. Massive revenge spot for the Houston Rockets. The Spurs, Spurs beat them by 39 points in the playoffs last year when they eliminated them. The Rockets, the Rockets are going to run the score up if they can. I saw a story today, too, because, the Lakers played the Cavs the other night. Man, does Lonzo Ball get too much attention, though, from the media. Ooh, Lonzo said this. Lonzo and LeBron after, and Lonzo this. It's like, guys, fuck. He's not that good. Chill out, man. Like, at what point? Like, the media's kind of flip-flop and stuff on with Lonzo Ball. Well, the big baller shoe reviews are in. Big Will sent me the big baller shoe review. So essentially, it sounds like the big baller shoe that they're charging $500 for is worse than the fucking Starberry. The Stephon Marbury shoes that I got a pair of, and I bought 2 pairs. I bought a pair for my boy Orville at the time. I bought 2 pairs, I think, for $14. They were even cheaper. They were on sale. I think generally they charge $9 or $10 for the shoes. I got a sale. I think it was like 2 for $15 or something. And I swear to God, I beat the shit out of shoes, man. I walk a lot. I beat the shit out of shoes. Like, I'll go through shoes pretty quickly and put holes in shoes that normally you shouldn't put holes in. Well, that didn't take long. Vancouver Canucks just scored in front of about all 13 fans that are at the game. 45 seconds in, Vancouver scores 1-0. Maybe we can take advantage of an in-game under here. See what the in-game total pops to here. Yeah, man, and my fucking Marberries, Starberries, Stephon Marbury, Starberries, whatever the fuck they're called, they've lasted forever, man. They've got no holes in them, like, even after all these years. And they're, like, so thick and stuff. I actually, I've worn them through winters and stuff like that. But, yeah, the Big Baller brand, like, Buddy felt really ripped off. One of the Barstool Sports guys says, I'm a big Baller supporter, but this is a pile of shit. He ordered size 11. He got size 13. He's like, look at this. He's like, he basically like peeled the back off without even trying. Like, they were falling apart without trying. Like, they're not even like the Marberries. Like I said, the Starberry Marbury shoes, those are pretty good. Like, those are pretty good. Like, there's a reason why Lonzo Ball can't wear Big Baller shoes in an NBA game. They're going to fall apart. You figure if they were smart, but they're not smart people. If they were smart, they would have made a prototype that's good. You know what I mean? Like, you should have made like a good Big Baller brand shoe that you fool everybody and you just lie. And you just say, yeah, I'm wearing the same one. But really, you're wearing a reinforced better shoe. Like, that's the difference. Like, the Starberries you could wear. Now, listen, I played street ball a lot. I played in the NBA Hoop It Up. So the Starberries are not good to play basketball in. All right? The Starberries are not good to play basketball in. They're too heavy. You know, like, you know, the modern state-of-the-art basketball shoe is fucking light as fuck. Like, but the thing is, for walking around and stuff, the Starberry's pretty good. And Marbury wore them in NBA games. And he got a couple other guys to wear them too. Ben Wallace, remember on the Pistons? I think he wore them. It was like 3-4 guys that were wearing them. Except they admitted that they were reinforced Starberries, you know? You know, Ben Wallace is going to break his fucking ankle in a pair of $9 shoes. So, yeah, like they strap them up a bit. I'm a big shoe guy, though. I used to be a big shoe guy. I know Big Man on Campus is in the shoes. We should save this one for when he comes on. I'm sure he thinks, oh, you're out of touch. You don't know anything, Morency. It's like, yeah, I know all about these shoes. Except now I'm not. I'm not a shoe guy anymore. Like before, I wouldn't be caught dead in a pair of like not cool shoes. Now I'm wearing fucking Dr. Scholl's. No joke. I bought a pair of Dr. Scholl's with like the gel in them. Very comfortable. Anytime I go into a shoe store and I look, I'm like, yeah, like I look at the rack, like I don't look at the price. So I'll just go in, I'll be like, all right, what shoe do I actually like? And it's usually like 200 of them and shit. And I just sort of go, I'm like, lame, crap. I'm like, oh, that shoe's pretty cool. And the one I always like is always like fucking $318 or something. And I'm like, I'm not paying $318. I'm not giving Nike $318. The thing is, most of these fucksticks in the NBA, they don't have cool shoes. Kyrie Irving's shoes are pretty cool. He's got like a cool Nike model that you can wear on the street. LeBron's shoes are all ugly. Kevin Durant's shoes are ugly. Big Baller brand is a fucking, you know, Big Baller brand's like the biggest scam going. Like they're really charging $500 for like a fucking like piece of shit. Like, you know, if they would have said, listen, it's $499, and if you can't afford it, you can't afford it, man. But I tell you what, the shoelaces are gold. You know what I mean? Like, if they would have actually been real about this and said, yeah, it's for high rollers, and it's fucking black and gold, and it's real gold, and the shoelaces are gold, and there's fucking gold plate tint this, and hydro fucking state-of-the-art shit. Like, there's nothing. There's no, like, dynamics to them. It's just like this thick rubber sole. And it's like they put some little hole in here, but it's not like, you know, like they're really playing people, but. What did Barnum and Bailey say? There's a sucker born every minute. Chicago Bulls up 105, 104 right now. A couple of minutes left in that game. All right, we got the Stanford Cardinal are up on the Denver Pioneers right now. We've got a college basketball game coming up in about 45 minutes. UC Davis and the San Francisco Dons. We'll kick the tires. Give me a couple of minutes, and we'll hit UC Davis and San Francisco. We'll hit the bowl games. We've talked about the bowl games. And really, I'm not in the mood to be repeating my picks over and over and over and over again. But I know people don't tune in every night, and the bowl season does start. The bowl season does start in a matter of, 13 hours' time. Now, my cell phone is off right now. I am charging it, but I'm assuming Mick Ossie's texting me. I don't know. I'm almost thinking Mick would be better on the Sunday night betcast. Join me and Big Man. What do you think of the game, Mick? That's my way of saying I don't know. Man, I'm Normal Nation wants to see the Starberries. I can dig them out somewhere, bro, but I've got like a lot of bags of shit here, man. And that's one of the reasons why my place looks like I can be on an episode of Hoarders. I can't lie though, like guys, like people like Fridays. Like how many people in the chat are happy it's Friday right now? I fucking hate Fridays. I sincerely hate Fridays. Like I really do. I never thought like, I guess I'm just old and shit, but Fridays really piss me off. Yeah. By the time Friday comes, like I'm in a zero tolerance. I'm surprised I haven't booted anybody out yet, but I haven't really been paying too much attention to the chat. I'm sure it'll come. I'm sure it'll come. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Fridays. By the time Friday comes, I'm kind of, I'm pretty beaten down, worn out, angry. All of the above. And as you guys see, I am not at my fantasy sports television network Christmas party tonight. Fuck, the total's still 5.5 in the hockey game. What are we going to do on this? And I agree with Chris Edge. What up, Chris Edge? And I don't know if Chris Edge is joining us in Vancouver or not. Are you coming to Vancouver, Chris Edge? Turnout's going to be big. A lot of people coming. But I'm not ready to give up on the Sharks either yet. I didn't click it. They're only plus 120 right now, but they're on the power play. Really, ideally, I like to see the Sharks score right now. Make it 6.5. Go up from 5.5 to 6.5. We jumped in on that Chicago Bulls money line. Bulls up by 5, baby, at plus 165. Let's get that home. You want winners? We give you winners. There's a winner. Fuck, I fucking knew the Rockets were going to fucking roll these motherfuckers tonight. And I was wondering, I can never tell, man. They show fucking hockey all the time on Canada and women's hockey and this fucking curling tournament and fucking, it never ends, man. So I can never tell what's live and what's real or what is it, live or Memorex, but no one knows Memorex. Druzilla will remember Memorex. Memorex out of business now too? Remember, is it live or is it Memorex? I often tell you guys that I really, in the late night hours after I end this show, recently I've been playing guitar, but I usually prep right away for the next day, all right? It never stops. So I like to get a head start on the next day. And, I usually watch The Simpsons or Seinfeld. Yet I'm Seinfelded out. And I've seen all the Simpsons, except for like recent ones. And for some reason, I don't really have an interest in seeing the recent ones. So there's nothing I like to watch. I don't like anything. So I've kicked it old school. And I've been watching WKRP in Cincinnati the last couple of nights. I got to tell you, man, it's crazy how better the acting was in the old days. The scripts, the chicks, the tits, the sweaters, the jokes. Not even close. So we go from WKRP back to me saying I can never tell what's live or not, but USA, Canada are playing right now in women's hockey. This is some degenerate shit if you want, guys. There's not a lot going on, so why don't we get involved in this? Canada, USA, women's hockey, live right now. From San Jose, California, 0-0. They've only played about 6 or 7 minutes. The total right now is 4.5. If I would have known this is live, I would have started talking about it right away. But I just realized it's live because there's in-game. I'm telling you right now, these chicks don't score. Canada and the U.S., they're fucking evenly matched. These chicks, they could play like all night, man. It's probably going to be 0-0 or 1-0 or something. I'm grabbing the in game right now. Under 4.5. This is the first time we're betting women's hockey on SBR. Did the ice picks give you this? No, huh? No, huh? Hey, Babano. Where's Babano at? Is Babano in the chat? Urbano's too cool for us on Friday nights. He's hanging out with Johnny Manziel and the posse. Yeah, I know about UFC fights, but we'll get to the UFC fights. What jersey am I wearing? FAU, baby. Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic Owls, 10-3, man. Make it 11-3 after they beat the Akron Zips in the bowl game. They're laying 22.5. I think they cover. They're playing on their home field. I was wondering why. Why are they playing on their home field? And why are they playing against Akron? You know, you're a 10-win team. You got Lane Kiffin. You know, you should have been playing in a more high-profile game. You got a good football team. And, you know, the whole point of bowl games is bowl season sucks now. I'm into the betting aspect of it, but it's to the point where if they cancel them all, who gives a shit? Fuck. It's a fucking joke. You know, because it's all business. That's what it comes down to. And say what you will about Lane Kiffin. Oh, fuck. They nearly just scored. Fuck. I'm glad it didn't go in. I clicked the under here. Under 4.5 in this women's game. So Lane Kiffin, he was honest. They said, Coach, you know, you're a 10-win team. You know, how come you're playing in the Boca Raton Bowl in your home field here against Akron, essentially? And he was basically very honest about it. And he said, we wouldn't be able to sell the tickets if we went into a big bowl game. So it's not right. You know, like, are bowl games about how many tickets you can sell, or is it about supposed to getting a good football game for the fans? But essentially, Florida Atlantic are a 10-win team. Who should they be playing in a bowl game? Like, Florida Atlantic should be playing, you know, they should be playing a bigger time team, like a Michigan even. And that's another thing I don't like about the Bulls. I'm a Michigan fan. What, are we going to play the South Carolina Gamecocks every 2 years? Oh, SEC 3 versus Big Ten 3. SEC 4 versus Big Ten 4. It's the same fucking teams every fucking year in these bowl games. Growing up when I was a kid, man, the bowl games were random, man. Michigan versus BYU. Why? Nowadays, you'd be like, wow, why are you going to play an independent in a Michigan in a bowl game? That doesn't make sense. It's like, because it's cool, fuck. You know what I mean? Let's see Army play fucking Michigan or fucking, you know, Notre Dame. They won 10 games, fuck. You know, like, instead, though, it's like, well, Army have a deal with the fucking Lockheed Martin Bowl. You know, every fucking team's got a deal, and it's bullshit. It leads to, like, it's boring. Like, I swear to God, I'd rather take all these names for all the college football teams, put them in a hat, shake it up, and say, hey, look, fuck. You know, I'm almost doing it right now. Yeah, so I didn't go to the Christmas party tonight. I had too many things to do. I can't get drunk right now. But I do want to thank I just read the card. What the hell does this mean? I do want to thank the Anthem Media Group for the nice Christmas card. And to be honest with you, it's the first time I read it. I basically asked, I saw them handing out cards, and I said, what's in the card? $100. It's not bad. No complaints here. Well, $10,000 would have been better, but not all jobs give you $100 at Christmas. This is like, yeah, we don't even have time. We don't even, you know. Usually it's a gift card or something. It's kind of, you know, even me, I was kind of, it's funny. Usually I'd be happier to get money, but when I opened it, I was like, what are they fucking throw money at us? Like we're fucking bitches, strippers now or something? Like, you know, where's the thought? Like, where's the thought? How about a gift card or something? I don't know. But I didn't realize the cards are personalized. Look at the card, though. I'm all like, isn't that nice of the company? They give me a card. Isn't that nice? Look what it says. Fuck. Gabe, stay off the coke and hookers. All the best. Len Asper. I don't know, man. How much? What am I going to get? What kind of hooker are you going to get with this and coke? You can get coke or a hooker with this, but I can't get coke and a hooker with this. I could, but the coke ain't going to be we're talking crack, and then we're talking a real ugly hooker. $100, you can get a hooker or the coke. That's the type of company I work for. Merry Christmas, folks. Stay off the coke and hookers. I'm not going to name names, but you know, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Again, I don't even know who signed this, folks. It's like a scribble. I just saw that for the first time. I just saw that for the first time. I thought I had 100. I knew there was $100 in there, but I didn't fucking know. I didn't know that they were going to insult me. What up, Ghetto? I guess it kind of is. I guess it kind of is one of the coolest cards ever. Merry Christmas. Stay off the coke and hookers. Yeah. This is from the television network I work for. That's why, like, when people ask me, hey, you ever getting, you know, they ever ask you not to tweet about things? I'm like, no. Like, no. I've only got one complaint. Cardano complained once, fuck, or twice. He's complained twice, actually. Like Druzilla knows. Like Druzilla knows. We've been pushing the envelope a little bit on the radio show as of late. And Cardano wasn't a fan of the I talked about Jason Garrett mopping up Jerry Jones's jizz. I said he has a jizz bucket. Cardano was like, oh, man. He's like, whoa, whoa. Cardano sent me a message. He goes, you know, I never say anything, but he goes, please, don't use the word jizz if you can. And I guess we got a complaint. We offended Mexican people, and we actually got complaints for real, like callers complained. And it wasn't an insult to Mexican people, but I don't know. We said something about guys that you pick up, like, you know, like guys that are waiting to get picked up for work and shit, and the van, you know, the truck, and they get on the truck. I said something about dudes waiting for a truck. I forget the context. Fuck. It was actually funny. Oh, no, you know what it was? You know what it was? It was fucking, it was Puerto Ricans. My bad. Yeah, my bad. It was Puerto Ricans. I said that Cam fucking didn't have any power. Fuck. And I told him, you're like a Puerto Rican. Like you're like, it's like you're in Puerto Rico. You're a Puerto Rican without power. That's what I told him. Because the Puerto Ricans didn't have any power. So Cam said, you know, Gabe is crazy. I didn't have any power. And I said, that's so you're like a Puerto Rican. He started laughing. And then I fucking said, I goes, at least your power came back on, Cam, after a few hours. I said, theirs didn't. And I guess we got calls. Fucking people said, oh, man, that Morency guy's mocking Puerto Ricans and mocking the victims in a hurricane. But anyone who follows me on Twitter knows I bitch more about fucking the shitty job they did in the recovery. People are just stupid, and I don't care. I'm not explaining the jokes. I'm not dumbing down the jokes. If you don't understand, I don't give a fuck. And to be honest, you know, if they like the show, they like the show. If they don't, they don't. At this stage of my life, like I've actually like lost all sense of worrying them. I don't worry about anything, you know? Like honestly, like I thought like I said, you know, oh, I upset the Dish Network too. I got a complaint from the Dish Network. Fuck. I've gotten a lot of complaints recently, to be honest. Like in the last month or so, like I've gone like three and a half years without complaints. I upset the fucking Bible Belt Dish Network owner. I guess the owner, literally the owner of the Dish Network, he lives in Tennessee. And he's a big Bible guy. And I guess he literally tuned in the second that I happened to be talking about doing cocaine off of a hooker's ass. And I guess he freaked out and called like the cable, like there was a big chain of events that finally got to me. So, you know, before I really would have been apologetic and shit, I actually got called in, you know, by the bigwigs. And I told them, I said, well, I said, really, I really don't care. I said, pull me from the Dish Network. Like, instead of apologizing, I was like, then don't put my segments on the Dish Network if they're that sensitive. I don't have to tell you. And they really basically saw that I, you know, wasn't really going anywhere. So. Yeah. Yeah, at first I was a little upset we weren't on the Dish Network daily, but to be honest with you, I think it's for the best. It's for everybody involved. You know what's funny, though? The Dish Network executive guy was in Toronto the other day, and I met the guy. The boss guy came up to me, and he goes, hey, Morency, he goes, this is the guy that called and freaked out about the Coke thing. I met the guy, and he goes, yeah. He goes, you know what? He goes, I thought it was funny as hell what you were. I was talking about the Miami Dolphins coach, fuck. And he goes, I thought it was funny as hell, man. He goes, I love your show, but he goes, yeah, the owner guy really didn't like it. So I told him, I said, he goes, you know what it's like in the South. That's what he said to me. I said, yeah, I know. I said, you guys support Roy Moore in the South, but you can't handle a little cold cooker talk. He started fucking cracking up. He's like, boy, it was right out of Seinfeld, like with the accent and everything. He's like, you know, you and I could spend a couple hours in a bar together. That's for sure. And he pats me on the back, starts laughing and shit. My boss after even told me, he goes, I don't know about you. He goes, you really upset these TV executives, but he goes, they all love you for some reason. That's the one people I'm good around. I'm bad with women. I'm bad with customer service. I'm bad with everything. But I'm very good with television executives and owners. I don't know what it is. Like that, look, I've lasted 16 years. And I say a lot of crazy shit, man. I say a lot of crazy shit. I've been in networks. You know how many people have been fired? Like hundreds, if not 1,000 I've outlasted. I know you just got to crack some jokes. I'm telling you, whenever you're around rich people, you got to be smart, crack a couple of smart, quick-witted jokes. Think like George Costanza when he met with the Houston Astros. Tell those son of a bitches that no Yankee is ever going to step foot in the fucking dump-ass state of Texas. You know, the guy from Houston, what's that, you son of a bitch? That's the way it works. I met all the new owners of the network in New York City. We were sitting at a bar on a table, and I got introduced to the new guys and the old guys. And one of the big money guys says, he goes, you know, everyone's freaking out about who owns what, and, you know, everyone's worried about the future. And he goes, I like this guy. And he says, he points at me. He goes, I like this guy. He goes, he doesn't give a shit. He just shows up and does the show. And I said out loud in front of the new owners, my first impression they get from me. I looked around and I said, personally, I don't give a fuck who the owner is. I said, as long as the check clears. Everyone at the table starts howling. Fucking right away, the new owner, I like you. Like, I basically told the new owners, because there's like 5 guys, and I said, I don't even know which one to use to the new owners, but as long as the fucking checks clears, right away they were all like, more drinks. I'm telling you, if you know how to smack talk and, you can advance in this world. Yeah, that type of banter doesn't work with Greg Sansoni. Greg Sansoni likes it nice and safe. Yeah, Sansoni did love me till he turned his back on me. Like fucking Luke Skywalker turning his back on Darth Vader. Yeah, I don't want to live in the past. It was a bad argument. I take some of the blame. That was pretty much the beginning of the end for me. That was pretty much one of the most heated arguments I've ever gotten in on the radio or TV. Yeah, exactly, Drew. It all started because he told Cam to shut the fuck up. In those words, too. Like, surprising from Sansoni. He's like, Cam, just shut the fuck up. He told Cam to shut up. And then he implied that I wouldn't be able to get a press pass from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I said, oh, yeah, why not? And he goes, well, you wouldn't. And I said, I've fucking gotten a lot of press passes. So like, he's the boss, and he's trying to expose one of his talent hosts, me, by stating that, and he basically was getting at that the Leafs didn't like me. It's like, yeah, no shit, the Leafs don't like me. So what? Fuck. Ooh, boo-hoo, fuck. The Leafs don't like me. No. Will the Leafs give me a season press pass? No, of course they wouldn't. But Sansoni doesn't have to go on TV and start saying there's no way in hell the Leafs would let you in. So I told him, I had the great answer. Remember, I fucking told him, I said, I don't care about going to the press fucking box, Greg. I said, unlike you, I'll sit with the casual fan. I'm a fan. You sit in the ivory tower. Oh, when I said that, he fucking lost it. I was a hero at the Score for that after, because everyone hated Sansoni. Everyone else. I was the only one with balls enough to get into an argument with him, but it was the beginning of the end. Everyone thinks that night, that one night on the Score was it, but it really had nothing to do with that. That was just sort of, breakaway, Canada. Fuck, these goalies are good. 0-0 still. Everyone thinks, it was that one crazy night, but it really wasn't. Me fucking getting into it with Sansoni, that was about 2 months before I got canned. I got into it with Cabby. I got into a big thing with fucking Cabby, big drama with Cabby. That didn't help. And then basically the icing on the cake was I fucking told the HR fucking girl to fuck off, which isn't a smart thing to do. She was in a meeting with the owner, and I looked at her and I said, is there a reason you're here? Like, that was the downfall. She went on to become the president and shit. They can go fuck themselves. And you know what's funny? I will not have anybody. I see like I saw the Fantasy Sports Network had someone from the Score on the other day. I'm not angry at the Score. They gave me a chance. I made a lot of money with them. I got fucking popular with them. Like, I don't have there's no ill will, but at the same point in time, like I refuse like to put anyone from the Score on. There's been a few times like guest bookers have told me, oh, you want this fucking fantasy guy from the Score? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, he's a big fan of yours. I'm like, tell him it's not personal, but no. Like, no. Like, I'm very like, no. I won't have any. I don't like when people even send me tweets from the Score Twitter. Oh, look at this story. I don't retweet. I refuse to retweet or have anyone from the Score on. Why don't I ever have Red Heat and Rage as a red? Because he has a life and he's out right now. And he was on the Sunday Night Betcast a few weeks ago. You know, we get Cam on one night maybe, but not tonight. Like, to be honest, Cam, you would have a hard time, like, with the mic, and it would be a Mick Aussie type scene. Yeah, me and Cam have a show together now, Gogster. But anyways. I like that. Oh, I miss you guys so much. Yeah, I know. You miss us since when? About 8 hours ago when I was on at noon with them today? Yeah, the Bills, I don't know if they're in a good spot, but they're in a better spot than Miami, Ace Farmer. Yeah, you know, look, Miami's coming off an emotional win, big spirited win against, speaking of which, did the Bulls hang on and win this game or what? Where's the love? Did they win? Hey! See, I give so many winners, it's casual. Plus 165. You're welcome. Told you, take the Bulls money line. The game was tied. 5 minutes left. Boom. They pull away. They win by 6 outright. Not a lot of love for the Toronto Raptors either, huh? I guess people just cry about the Raptors when they lose once every 10 games. Toronto Raptors won tonight, 120-87. 120-87. DeMar DeRozan, 31 points. Ibaka, 18 points. Valanciunas, 14 points. Kyle Lowry, triple-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists. Norman Powell, 11 points. Total, 11 points. Wright, 7. Van Fleet, I'm not a big Van Fleet fan. Kicked the shit out of the Brooklyn Nets. The Raptors' schedule is really easy now, too. Like, and don't hate on the Raptors and say, oh, it's the Nets. Whatever, man. The Raptors just played a 6-game West Coast road trip, man. Golden State, San Antonio, all that bullshit. All right? That was the thing. We talked about it. The Raptors played the toughest part of their schedule already. It's pretty cool for the Raptors from here on out, man. I don't even think they leave the Central Time Zone again. Like, literally, like, I remember when we talked about off the top, I bitched. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are we playing fucking 7 games in a row against all these? Remember, it was like Golden State, San Antonio, Denver, Utah. It was like a fucking murderer's row of Pacific Northwest, West Coast, and good teams back to back. And they competed. They lost a few, but they competed. The only one game that they rolled over and tapped out was the Denver game. Like Devlin said the other night, he goes, this, you know, like against the Clippers. He goes, the only game that we can say they played bad was that Denver game. So they went through the worst gauntlet. Now they're getting rewarded with the Phoenixes and the Nets, and they're going to rack up a shitload of wins, the Raptors, this year, man. They're not going to get any respect, but whatever. They'll end up being the 3 seed, though, right? They're not going to be better than Boston, and they won't be better than Cleveland, probably. $60-43 right now for Houston at the half. Get you a second half number. Still scoreless. Did you guys jump in on the hockey game too? Did anybody tail me on the women's hockey? Anybody? Put your hand up. Anybody get in on the under 4.5 that I said no? I guess not. You guys don't want to win. Fine. Yeah, Nace Farmer, as far as the Bills are concerned, like I said, the Dolphins played, they beat the Broncos 2 weeks ago. Big win for them, Monday night, short week. The Bills coming off that snow game, and Ted Savransky brought up a great point as far as fatigue is concerned. It's a lot harder on the legs running in the snow than it is just not running. It's like running on the it's like running in sand, running in the snow. So the Bills could be a little tired, but that gets nullified by the fact that the Dolphins are playing on a short week. And historically, the Dolphins, they don't win in the wintertime in Buffalo. We don't win in Miami. They don't win. Like it's like clockwork. The Miami Dolphins track record in Buffalo is fucking putrid, man. Like over the last 7 years, we've owned them, man, in Buffalo. We've actually pretty much owned them overall, but there's been a few exceptions. Last year we lost both games because Rex Ryan's a fucking moron. But for last year was the game in which Rex Ryan punted like McDermott did last week. But I just don't think that that Jay Cutler is going to play well in this spot, in the cold, in the wind, in Buffalo here. You've got Tyrod Taylor coming back. Tyrod Taylor's healthy enough to play. He's going to play. Charles Clay returns as well. Charles Clay is good. He's the Buffalo Bills' leading receiver, even though he's the tight end. Nice DraftKings DFS pick there for you. $3,000, Charles Clay. Yeah, sorry, guys. Anybody, the women's hockey, you can bet it at Bet365 in-game. All right, speaking of in-game, what's the in-game here for the so now it's at 6.5. All right, second half, San Antonio and Houston. 60-43. Look, they only scored 47 points in the first quarter. Then they put up 56 in the second. San Antonio's offense started to click a little bit. I'd like to say that San Antonio's not going to quit, but they might quit. I'm on the over 213, so I'm not abandoning ship. And it's funny because the total was 213. It closed at 214. I got it at 213, and right now it's 213.5. The second half has just started. I think it gets there, the over. I'm already on it, but I think the second half over is worth a look. All right, we hit the over in the football game. We're looking at a split. We're going to lose Mary Hardin. We're going to hit the under. We're going to lose Sam Houston State. Why do I do this, fuck? North Dakota State winning 55-13 right now. Total was 66.5, so we hit that. In-game total right now is 82.5. There's a full fourth quarter of football left to go here. They really are a fucking juggernaut, these guys, aren't they? They're just a motherfucking juggernaut, man. North Dakota State. It's 88-83 for the Pels right now over the Nuggets. 2-1 Sharks. 2-1 Sharks after 20 minutes of play. Oh, sorry, my bad. 2-1 Canucks over the Sharks. Excuse me. USA and Canada scoreless after a period. New total 3.5 now. We got that under 4.5. As far as who's going to win the game, I don't know. It is in San Jose, California, so it's home ice for the Americans. Canada, from what I've paid attention to, Canada seemed to be all over them. Every time I look up, Canada's got a scoring chance. The chick on the U.S., it looks like she's a good goalie. So that game's scoreless. And then we got that UC Davis. All right, let's kick the tires on this game. The San Francisco Dons. I asked people on Twitter, but No, nobody answered me before. I don't know if anyone knows in BC right now. Simon Fraser University. Simon Fraser University is a Canadian university. They're in British Columbia. Now, I know their basketball team is very good. And I remember that they started to play in the NCAA. They were the first team not from the United States in the NCAA. But I don't know if they were in like Division II or what, like how it worked. But I see right now they're playing against the Idaho Vandals right now. And this is regular season shit. So I don't know what the fuck this is. There's no point spread, though. I was curious. I was like, is there going to be a number? Like, what is this? And I haven't seen Simon Fraser play anyone else in the NCAA so far this year. Like, I don't know if anyone can explain to me, like, what's Simon Fraser's status? And why is the University Canadian team playing against the Idaho Vandals tonight in Idaho? And it's like the exhibition season's already gone. We're in the regular season now. But like I said, I do remember a couple of years ago, Simon Fraser going to the NCAA, or they applied, or I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat can explain to me. Okay, so UC Davis, 7-2. All right, this is a no-brainer, guys. It's a no-brainer. We got UC Davis are 7-2 against the Dons, who are 5-3. UC Davis are 5-0-2 against the point spread. The San Francisco Dons are 1-4 against the point spread. So I think we can save ourselves a lot of time right now and say, all right, do you want the team that's 7-2 straight up and has covered every game with 2 pushes this year, or a team that's 5-3 and has only covered once in 8 games? The San Francisco Dons score 71.9 points per game. They actually give up 71. But let's look at the road home splits here. This is where you can get into it more. All right, look, San Francisco at home, they're 5-2 straight up, but they're only 1-3 against the spread. Three games have gone over the number. They didn't have a line game once at home. 3-1 to the over on their home court. San Francisco Dons score 74 points a game on their home court. They give up 71 points a game on their home court. UC Davis on the road, very impressive. 3-2 straight up, a perfect 5-0 against the spread on the road this year. 2 overs, 3 unders. Fucking cough just woke up. It's been 2 weeks, too. It's getting fucking aggravating. It's going away, but I do a lot of shows, man, so. It's the fucking dryness, too, man. Like, I really need a humidifier. It's crazy. Like, the dryness of the heat and shit, it's really fucking my throat up. So, yeah, UC Davis. All right, I see you guys talking about the under in this game. 131, man, it's pretty low. Let's look at the history when they played each other here. Last time they played. Oh, man, let's see. They haven't played. Where's the fucking history? What do you mean they haven't played? Of course they played. I don't know, guys. I'm looking here. Look, San Francisco Dons, they just scored 81 points in their last game against Eastern Washington. They scored 78 points against Central Arkansas. They lost 75-57 Arizona State. They lost to Santa Barbara, but they scored 72, and they gave up 79. What are we missing here with the total here? UC Davis just beat the shit out of William Jessup. I see you guys are scheduling tough games. They beat Pacific 71-67. Yeah, I like this. UC Davis are even on a 4-game win streak outright. They beat Washington State by 14. Like I said, no brainer, man. We're taking UC Davis. You guys wanted a pick? There's the pick. UC Davis. We're going UC Davis, and we're going with the over. Don't like to fade you guys. I'm sorry. I saw you guys talking about you're leading with the under at 131. I can't do it. Not a 131. All right, college basketball. Over at UWager right now. Wow, it's only 3.5 there. What am I getting over here? 3.5. Fuck, man. What are you guys clicking away when we're talking about this? It's down to 3.5 right now. Everyone's clicking. This is crazy. It was 5.5 before. Everyone's clicking right now on UC Davis right before tip-off. People are like, I'll take UC Davis here. I think UC Davis on the money line are worth a look, actually. I'm going UC Davis. I'm going to buy the point up to 4. And I'll go over 131. And we're in. UC Davis plus 4 over 131. All right, what's going on? This game. Yeah, you know what, guys? We're done with the New Zealand Breakers. It's like a hot chick that things are going bad. At some point, you got to say, you know what? Like, we're done. Last night, they fucking screwed us, man. And I took them again in game. I took them last night. They were down. They were up by like 5, man. With like 6 minutes left. It was fucking late, too. I fell asleep. I sort of woke up. I was like, oh, fuck the breaker. What's the score? I look, and they're up by 69-64. And whatever it was, man, I'm half asleep, fucking. And I didn't even see it. I was so out of it, I didn't even care. Like, I didn't watch the end of it. So I was like, oh, fuck. I said, they're up by 5 with like 4 minutes left or something. And I'm like, I don't know if they're going to cover that, you know, but I said, they're not going to lose. So I click. Fucking first thing I do, man, this morning. I wake up. It's the first thing I fucking pop on. Open up the laptop here. I'm like, NBL. Pops up, and I saw the headline kind of before I even read it, man. I just saw 36ers come back. Like, I was like, what? I'm like, you lost to the 36ers again? I don't know, man. Maybe they're throwing games. I just don't know how a team could be 9-1 and now suddenly they're 10-4, man. And they're losing everybody, fuck. And they're losing in all possible ways. They're getting blown out. They're blowing leads. Like, you know, they're trying in one game and losing. Now they're coasting, they're losing. Like, you name it. That fucking break destroyed the breakers, man. The breaker is short. The fuse is blown. They're in a free fall, fuck. It's actually hard to watch. Yeah, it's hard to watch. All right, so we're going to take a quick break right now. 1 hour in, level 2 approaching. We ask you for a thumbs up here. Support the program, support Sportsbook Review. On the other side, big man on campus will join us. We're going to jump into the college football bowl. So, if you haven't been with us earlier in the week, get your fucking pens out. Get your get your notepad out, because I don't want to repeat this shit over and over and over all night. But starting, my bowls, like my bowl picks for tomorrow. We put a lot of work into the bowls, bowl capping this week. We had some, and finally there's a goal. USA scores on the power play. So there's five NCAA bowls, but then there's all, Grambling's NCAA, but you have the Black College Championship game tomorrow. It's the Celebration Bowl, but it's the championship game. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. I got to be honest with you. Like, I was like, is it the Black College Bowl game, or like, what is it like for? No, they're not fucking around. It's for the Black College Championship. In the Celebration Bowl, Grambling and North Carolina A&T. Starts at noon. No point spread yet. And me and Cam Stewart talked about this game today a bit. The, like, how lame is Ohio State's band? Older tradition of watching them dot the I. Fuck your I and fuck your T. You want to see a real fucking halftime show? Check out tomorrow, Grambling and North Carolina A&T. It's the only university cheerleaders that twerk. Like, it's over the top, man. It's like fucking, big booty and fucking skin tight fucking, like, white fucking, like, it's over the top, their shit. All the cheerleaders have like massive tits, big asses. They're all fucking going. The band wars are crazy. The band wars are crazy. The bands are actually good, Like, it's in New Orleans, and it's just go time. like it's a war. Like, the football game, like the black colleges, it's almost like the football game is like, yeah, whatever, fuck. It's the bands, man, at the half. I'm telling you, it's intense, fuck. The fucking drummers, and they perfect precision, these bands. And they ain't playing like fucking Iron Man. It's like fucking James, like fucking, it's high tempo fucking shit, man. What's kind of racist? I don't see what part of this is racist. What, me saying that the chicks are hot and it's the best halftime show is somehow racist? Yeah, the black college bands, that shit's fucking crazy. They really get into it, fuck. Like, it's bigger than the game. Like I said, like, they have like a band championship and shit. Like, it's serious shit, the bands. It's hard to make that band. You can be on the Buffalo Bulls band. Trust me, I met the Buffalo Bulls band. Fucking bunch of kids out of tune and shit. like, you got to be a good musician. You got to bring it, man, on those ones. Now, as far as the game is concerned, I don't see a point spread yet. As far as I don't see a point spread yet for that game. They're both like 12-1 type shit, or 13-1, Grambling and North Carolina A&T. I'm leaning with North Carolina A&T. Oh, here's Big Man getting ready to send. I'm going to send you the link in a second here, Big Man. We're just going to take a quick break. Al Sharpton money line. Yeah. Yeah, let's not get that politically incorrect that I state that the chicks are going to fucking twerk. Is it racist if I say that the blonde chicks on USC are fucking hot? And that, that they're skanky and they don't wear panties? You can't say that about the USC Trojan girls. What up, Sooner Lisa? I know. You gotta watch what you say now. I saw a guy at the NFL Network's in big trouble for following porn stars on Twitter. If that's a problem, my network, I could be in trouble. For the record, Jenna Jameson actually follows me on Twitter for some reason or another. Jenna Jameson, for some reason, agreed with one of my political takes and ended up like fucking captioning it or whatever. And she started following me, but I actually really sort of disagree with most of her takes, to be honest. But, even if Jenna Jameson's kind of a fucking, kind of over the top now, what's the best way of putting it? Even though she's kind of over the top, it's still Jenna Jameson, follow me on Twitter. So, what am I going to do? People are free to their own crazy whack job opinions. I just don't like when I see them on my fucking, on mine, on my timeline. Yeah, Ram. No, no, she's not with Tito Ortiz. There's a famous shot, Rem, most of a USC Trojan chick. Yeah, a few of them weren't wearing panties. Jenna Jameson hasn't done porn in a long time. Jenna Jameson's in like the Fortune 500 fucking top 500 richest people in America type shit. I don't know how she made so much motherfucking money, but she did. Lisa Ann's fucking loaded too. Like Lisa Ann's like a multi-millionaire type shit. Like she's fucking filthy rich, that chick. The thing with porn, porn's like any industry. Most people get used up and spit out and chewed up and don't make anything. And you have a few isolated few that are good business people and are smart and really maximize this stuff. But if you look at all the porn actresses, there's only, how many of them really, really made a lot of money? Jenna Jameson's like a billionaire type shit. Like she fucking made so much money, it's nuts. Jenna Jameson doesn't do porn now. Have you seen her? Fuck. Dude, Jenna Jameson's married to like some fucking Israeli banker, bro. She ain't doing no porn, man. She's on Twitter ripping fucking Palestine 24 hours a day. Yeah, like Amber Lynn, Brian Jensen. That's an old school porn chick. Amber Lynn's not filthy rich. Amber Lynn does webcast and appears at like she's, sleazy strip clubs and shit. Amber Lynn was a star, but before there was money. Jenna Jameson's loaded. Lisa Ann's not on Jenna's level, but she's pretty rich. She's a multi-millionaire type thing. Like Lisa Ann doesn't Lisa Ann doesn't even do porn anymore either, but I heard like her scenes and shit. It was like 40,000 minimum, man. Like she wasn't blowing people for $2,000 like some fucking chick in the valley, you know? She was making large jack fuck for per scene. Jenna was smart. She just started her own website and company. There's a few of them, you know, but not many of them like get to that stratosphere. Yeah, exactly. Jenna James's net worth is 10 million now. I'd have to say I fuck Kristen Hensel. She used to go all the punk shows on Long Island. Skooma Steve getting it done. Janice Griffith is very popular, but I know she's, like, I don't know how much money these new chicks make. Like I said, Jenna Jameson definitely made more than $10 million. I don't know if she fucking pissed through her money, but that Club Jenna shit made her like $700 million, guys. I didn't see. I just saw on Twitter the other day, actually, a big porn star killed herself. August Ames. And she got bullied by the gay community and she killed herself. It's funny because it was the other way around and shit. If a gay guy, you got bullied and someone killed, you know what I mean? People would freak, but basically she tweeted that she didn't want to do a porn scene with an actor. She said, I got to the set and I found out the actor did gay porn. And she said, I don't sleep with dudes on movie sets that do gay porn. And she said, due to health reasons and safety risks, I don't sleep with gay men. And then she even said, not homophobic, but it's a safety risk and I can't do it. She got fucking, so some big male porn star guy told her to fucking kill herself. And she did. He goes, I hope you fucking die and choke on a dick to death, you stupid bitch. And then him and a bunch of gay dudes, and gay guys are real big bullies, man. I've seen it firsthand. And so all the people in the gay community attacked this little 23-year-old porn chick that just fucking said, I don't want to fucking take it up the ass from a dude who's gay. And she fucking killed herself. And the big porn actor said, I hope you kill yourself, you stupid bitch. And she did. Yeah, I don't know. The media's not talking about it too much, though. But it happened like 2-3 days ago type thing. August Ames, yeah. Like, she's not homophobic either. Like, she even said, like, I'm not homophobic. I have nothing against gay people. I just can't sleep. She think about how crazy gay people are now that she said, I don't want to do an anal scene with a male actor that does gay anal scenes. It's a simple request. And I guess they lied to her because it's in her contract. And I guess it's a thing that a lot of porn actresses have in their contract. So it's in her contract and she got pissed off. So she tweeted, she goes, hey girls, for the record, this shithead producer, director guy lies about his acting talent and is secretly getting gay actors on the set. And she goes, I'm not doing the movie. And it started, she got bullied for 2-3 days on Twitter and online. And then she eventually did it. 23 years old. She killed herself the other day. She hung herself from a fucking tree, I think. Pretty crazy. No, I got nothing against gay people at all. No, it's not, really. But But the gay lobbying can get out of hand, man. I saw it firsthand. I was in a restaurant here in Toronto, in the gay part of Toronto, and there was a Filipino lady working in the restaurant, and a gay guy fucking got pissed off at her, and he went full out racist. Fuck. He's like, "Why don't you go back to fucking whatever country you came from?" They all started laughing at her. All these gay guys. I started yelling at them. I said, "Hey." I said, it's funny how you guys preach tolerance, and here you are fucking treating this chick like shit because you don't like your fucking shitty pizza. I was going to fucking smash the guy's face in, but then I would have gotten arrested, probably for, hate crime. And I swear to God, they got all racist with the Filipino chick. No problem, right? But, well, their rights are violated all the time. Still 1-0 in the women's hockey game.
They're shooting from outside. I think they're hoping to create some rebounds there. And they're right off the face-off, a good face-off win by.
Oh my God. You know it's a chicks hockey game when they're playing Maroon 5 in the arena. I'm like, I just hear it. And Lisa loves Maroon 5. Lisa, I swear to God, I just heard Maroon 5 in the background of the hockey game. So I'm like, who the fuck plays Maroon 5 at a hockey game? Like, honestly, like, I've never heard Maroon 5 played at a hockey game, and it's a women's hockey game. So I guess they're not playing the standard Pantera tonight at the game. Deep dish pizza is good, but that Chicago shit's too thick, man. Too much sauce, man. I like a Domino's deep dish, but that thick deep dish, like fucking thick like that, is too much sauce and shit. 1-1, Canada just scored.
Olympians, some of these veterans, we talked in the intermission about how Team USA has more of the veterans, but I feel like Augusta will have to step up, be a veteran player for them. That's something that she has adjusted very well, which she still has to do, but still is her game. For the first time, I guess, you don't have somebody more letters.
The metal buff. I finally got this bad boy going.
Where you can experience the Olympic spirit every day, showcasing your favorite stars and stories. The Olympic Channel, home of Team USA. Who will be the stars of the Olympic?
Time will tell.
Pretty good chance these two teams will face each other more than once. Dr. Johnson works in. Drops it back for Wakefield, now loose in the corner. Wakefield had it poked away by Callie Flanagan. Johnson with lots of traffic in front. Works back in the corner. Tech line steps into her. Here's Jenner with a shot that's blocked down by Kelly Pass. Now picked loose by Denver with a quick chance, and Rigsby makes the stop. Flanagan got up by Jenner. Jenner with the steal, drops it back. In comes Johnson to the goal post. Rebecca Johnson with a great work, knocking off the pipe, and remains 1-1.
Rebecca Johnson had all the time in the world, got her head up, picked the corner, and missed it by a hair.
Haley Brand plays it back in, and I believe we're going to have a 2-minute on the ice penalty being called here. Referee Jamie Courtney Park from right here in San Jose makes the call.
Opportunity for Team Canada to work on that power play. Here's a look at 5 players. There's the 6.
Yep, 6 comes on. And the referee's arm went up right away.
A little close call there, but she was making no mistake about it.
Danny Cameronese was serving. Canada the power play with 4:39 to go here in the second period.
And as we mentioned, Canada's power play has certainly struggled this season. And this is an opportunity for them to work on some of the things. This game, we've seen them change it up, win the face-off right there. That's a key to it. Myra is one of the best.
He's got 2 shots in the power play so far. Now a change short to McCoy. A great short-handed chance there for Ken McCoy. Katie Detmeier turns her away.
All right, now we can rock on a Friday night. Oh, yeah. Now we can rock out here. I'm seem to be picking it up, though, eh? There we Nice and fucking crunchy, huh? That's how you rock on a Friday night. All right, I'm sure my neighbors love that shit. Yeah. Not bad though, eh, with the pedal. Nice and crunchy.
the goalie head coach is the one challenging for goalie interference, right?
Well, it's been shown multiple times on the scoreboard, so Stoppers had a chance to see it. So now the question, was Rigsby interfered with? So Emily Clark on the way behind, and she interfered, and then Nurse falling on her. But
I think Nurse fell on her after the fact. I think the puck was in by the time Nurse fell on.
I see what they're saying.
Right there, Stacy. I think that's the question mark, because Nurse falls on her, but that puck's already in. Stacy does prevent Rigsby from seeing that puck right there, but then she gets back into position.
I just need to get that out of my system. I apologize. Let me send a link over to Big Man here. Time just flies by on this show, but hey, one of the shows going to give you a little shredding here, huh? I sort of hear my neighbors ruffling around a bit now. Hey, it's 11:30 on a Friday night. It's not that bad. That's right, XR351 ARO. I play my music like the show is, angry. Speaking of which, 2-1 Canada right now. Our 4.5 is suddenly getting precarious. UC Davis off to a good start. Good news, bad news. UC Davis winning. Bad. That's the good news. 8-5. Bad news is it's 8-5 after like 7 minutes of action here. All right, we sent over Big Man. We sent Big Man the link. Well, Nuggets and Pelicans in overtime. 117-111. 105-91 right now for the Rockets. 107-91. I don't want to jinx anything, but our 213 sort of, in game's 226.5 right now. It'd be nice if we could get there. I don't overassume anything, even though they're at 198 right now with 6 minutes left. Who fucking knows, man? A little worried, though. We're screwed in this hockey game because it's 2-1 right now. Now, if the USA score, they're on the power play. It's the fucking problem, man. This referee keeps calling penalties on everything. Every goal has been on the power play, essentially. So, USA ties this game. We're screwed. We lose the 4.5. That fucking sucks. Brutal. Big Man on campus steps up and in.
You must not be getting my messages, Gabe.
I don't look at Twitter too much during the show or the chat.
Oh,
I focus on the show.
I sent it to you 3 hours ago. Last night,
Babano's fucking typing away in the chat. I'm talking to him. It's like, tell him, hey, focus on the show here. Don't worry about the chat so much, Babano.
No, I sent it to you about 2 hours ago. I didn't know if you got it. I guess you didn't get it.
No.
You're going to be off by 12, Gabe.
Should I look now?
No. I mean, it's kind of.
You're going to be off by 12. Okay, I just saw that.
Yeah, no, I said I could come on at 10:30 if you were all right with it.
Well, before you tell me 11, right? So I said, all right. 11.
Yeah, I had something come up, unfortunately, and I said 10:30. I didn't know if you've seen it. I know you're busy, but it is what it is.
All right, so you got to be out of here in 23 minutes.
I'll do as much as I can.
What do you got a big date tonight?
No, I gotta be somewhere at 12:15. So let's just say I got something. Somebody I gotta see. Let's say that.
All right.
And by the way, speaking of your comments on the Celebration Bowl, I'm excited. That's right up my alley tomorrow. I'm looking forward to watching the cheerleaders in that game.
Yeah, I know. Somehow I got called racist for that.
For what?
I don't know, because I said I was looking forward to seeing the cheerleaders.
Nah, you're respecting them. That's what
I
they do. They're great. They're
You
great.
heard what I was saying, right? Was anything wrong with what I said?
Oh, that's what they do. And they
It's,
flaunt
I
their
was saying,
assets.
it's a little edgier cheerleader routine than you're going to see in a fucking Big Ten game.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. They're historically black colleges. That's what they are.
All right. Yeah. Now I feel bad. I wish I would have checked, but yeah, you told me.
It's all good, man. It's all
You told me 11. You know, I looked at 11.
Yeah, I know. And then I said, I didn't know if you'd see it or not. I know it's sometimes you don't.
I know. In the chat, you should have texted me, but then my phone's off even too, so it would have been okay. All right. Let's jump right in here then.
Sounds good.
Bowl games tomorrow. So you see North Carolina A&T is -7 in that game. I really don't know enough to give an educated opinion strongly about the game with a pick in that one, but I do have picks for the other 5 bowl games.
Yeah, they're 7-point favorites. Grambling State's obviously the underdog here. Both these teams are pretty similar. I mean, they run up tempo, they run that pistol offense. But North Carolina A&T's got a great defense. 12.5 points a game. They're undefeated. Plus 16 turnover margin. These games are usually close, though. Generally, they're going to come down to the wire. 7 points is a lot in this kind of game, but you do have an undefeated season here, which is pretty important also. But these two teams really both want this game a ton. It's a big game with these two schools, so points are probably going to be valuable here.
What's the total?
51.5.
51.5.
Next year's game between Grambling and North Carolina Central was 10-9. So, again, that has nothing really to do with this game. But
I'm confused, though. Where is this game tomorrow?
It's at Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Oh, in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta, yep.
Yeah. Because, they've had this game in the past, I thought, in New Orleans, but they have the New Orleans Bowl tomorrow at the same time. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. On one of the websites, they do like a breakdown of the game. And Arizona, they have you know how they put like when they do a breakdown, they put like the picture of like the team up.
Yeah.
For this game, they have like an Arizona Wildcat football player on the breakdown. It's like you can't even get like the right picture for these two schools, for God's sakes. Come on. But yeah, it's 12 o'clock at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Brett Patterson has a good question, actually. Were you meeting Mick Aussie at 12:15?
No, thank God. You might be, though.
I know. We'll see.
We'll be getting him on. So sooner, Lisa, you might want to get out of here pretty soon because Aussie's coming on. I know you're a big fan of his.
All right, so New Orleans Bowl. I've been on the over all week. I've decided,
Hey, Johnny Walker, that's a bannable comment right there. That's a racist comment there. Come on, Johnny.
Let's see what.
These people are dicks.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Johnny's been saying some stupid shit in here all night.
I haven't been paying attention. I got to scroll up here now.
Yeah, King Rogers, you found out what I was doing. I'm going out to eat. Good call.
The people are on fire here tonight. Like fucking.
Yeah. Take shots tonight.
Yeah, nice guys here this evening. Nice guys.
It's funny because I only see these people in like our show or like the Sunday night show. I never see them in any other shows. Late night. Johnny Walker, King Rogers, random people.
Yeah, it's the late night,
Freaks are out.
Yeah. All right. So I'm taking North Texas plus the points. I've decided. Listen, you look at Troy. Yeah, they beat LSU, and people are going to hang their hat on that. But they also stumbled a lot. Their offense sort of has problems. North Texas is going to throw the kitchen sink at these guys. They're going to be just every bit as fired up. They want to get to 10 wins here. They'll come into this with a 9-4 record. Their defense isn't very good, but Troy's offense isn't killer good. And North Texas's offense is good enough they're going to be able to move the football. I do like the over 62, but I'm riding the underdog here. Give me the +7 with North Texas.
Yeah, you can make the case that they beat LSU, but they also lost to South Alabama, and they were never in that game, really.
Exactly.
So, plus, they're in a conference that's not particularly good in the Sun Belt. The concern I have for North Texas, Gabe, is, I mean, their best running back's out. Defensively, like you mentioned, they're not very good. And you look up when they step up in competition, they just haven't been very good, frankly.
But is Troy not much of a step up in competition?
No, not really. Troy does have a better defense. They have a senior quarterback. I think if you like North Texas, you probably want to take the over also, because if North Texas is in this game, I think you're going to have to score some points against that Troy defense, and Troy shouldn't have any trouble scoring either. So I think if you like North Texas, you might want to bet the over also.
Well, look, you look at North Texas. They had a nice run going. They had won 4 football games in a row, 5 in a row, and they lost to Florida Atlantic 41-17. They got overwhelmed by FAU. No shame in that. On the road, they lost by 24 there, but nice 5-game win streak before that. 52-49 win. I like that win against Army. Beat up on UTEP 45-10. They played in a lot of close games. So, yeah, FAU blew them out, but Troy isn't as explosive as Florida Atlantic is. Florida Atlantic blew them out twice, but for the most part, they played in pretty close football games throughout the year, this team. I think North Texas can hang with them. I do. I think people are just overvaluing Troy a little bit at 7, big man.
Yeah, I definitely could see where you're coming from. Honestly, gun to my head, I do want to make it clear. North Texas, they've come a long way under Seth Littrell. If you remember a couple years ago, this team lost every game. It's pretty impressive what he's been able to do there. You always want to win a bowl game. You remember last year, they didn't win their bowl game. They lost to Army. I think it's time they want to finally win a bowl game. I could see where you're going. I'm not in love with the game. I could see Troy, winning by 10, but I do think the hunger will be there for North Texas. I'm just concerned about the defense and the lack of a running game right now for them.
Western Kentucky and Georgia State, totals climbing. It was 51.5 earlier in the week. It's all the way up right now to it opened at 49.5, but it pretty much settled in at 51.5 all week. Now the public's starting to click overnight, and the total's up to 53.5. This game's taking place in Orlando, so weather's not going to be a factor between the two 6-6 teams. I'm looking at the over here. I don't love it. This is the game. This might be one of the worst bowl games of them all, actually, to be honest with you, as far as attractiveness. And it's hard to make a strong argument for either team, at least for me. I lean with the over, not a best bet of the day, but I do think it goes over.
Yeah, this is where the bowl games get kind of ridiculous. We have to stop awarding mediocrity. Basically saying, look, we don't care if you lose half your games. As long as you win 6, you're going to go to a bowl game and get a chance to win a trophy. It's not good enough. It's all about money, which we know. These kind of games, they play in the Cure Bowl every year, Georgia State. They're just an average team, but so is West Kentucky. I don't really see why they're laying 7 points here. This team all year has had trouble. They're 1-6 as a favorite. Giving me a full touchdown, I'll take the better defense. I'll take the better, possibly the better quarterback, a team that I've seen play. Georgia State, they're not brutally bad or anything. I think they can hang around in this game. I'm not really quite sure why they're laying 7 points on Kentucky here.
Yeah, you know what? When you look at this game, and Western Kentucky have been money burners this year. The fact is they're 3-9 against the spread, yet Georgia State are 4-7 against the spread. This is, out of all the games, bet the least on this one, guys. We don't have to bet on every game. I like the over here. I can't make a strong argument for either side. I just can't. And even the total wouldn't shock me if it was just a shitty ass fucking game and it didn't go over. I'm getting cold feet with this one. I can't lie, guys, because I'm not betting, $2,000 a game, but I'll be betting probably in the 250 to 500 range on the, 250 per book type thing. Probably about a nickel a game on these bowl games. I'm not going to do it to waste my time to bet $75 on the last fucking college football games of the year. This is it. This is the last hurrah, guys. We got 41 fucking games to make some money on the way out. I'm not going to get crazy, but if I like a game, I'm going to bet the game. I like the over. I don't love it. I'm going all in on North Texas plus the points. I'm going all in on the over of the North Texas Troy game. This game, I'll dabble in it. I'll bet on the over here, but I can't make a strong case for either team, big man. I just can't.
Yeah, like I said, gun to my head, I would go with Georgia State just because I don't really, in that favorite role, I'm just not. Since Jeff Brom left, that just hasn't been a very potent offense, frankly. I think these teams are pretty even. I'll take the better defense here.
I'm not a big Mike Sanford guy. He was at UNLV when I was there before, too. They were okay. They had Omar Clayton and stuff, and then Bobby Hawk replaced him. So I'm not surprised you're sort of a mediocre football
I
team.
don't mind him as like a coordinator. I mean,
Exactly.
maybe, but I don't think he's. I mean, clearly he's a huge drop off from Brom.
Yeah, Brom's a great coach. Brom's a very good coach. Okay, so this next game's interesting. So Royce Freeman's actually going to be out. I thought he was going to play in this game. He's got NFL aspirations. He's banged up. I can live with him not playing in this game. And to be honest with you, I really don't think it makes that much of a difference to the Oregon Ducks whether Freeman plays or not. Would have been nice if he did, but next man up. And the fact of the matter is, this is Justin Herbert's team right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, but again, Boise State is a good defense. I mean, they're not they're not these fly by night.
I think they're the worst 10-win team in the country.
Yeah, I think I thought they really came on towards the end of the season. Basically, from that Virginia game on, I thought they were pretty impressive.
They lost 28-17 in their last regular season game at Fresno State. Yeah. Never should have fucking been given the right to host that championship game.
But let's remember
they won 17-14, right. Didn't cover the number, and got every fucking call. It was like the Mountain West didn't want Fresno winning for some reason.
Yeah, I hear you. And here's the difference, though. They're an underdog in this game, and I hear you, though. Herbert's a great quarterback, and he is that team. I thought Oregon, though, you don't see a lot of difference defensively with this team. They're still pretty poor overall. And you make an interesting point, though, with Freeman. It is next man up, and it is Herbert's team. And Boise has some injuries. Madison, the running back, he may not play in this game, which is concerning because he was really integral to their success late in the season. It's another bowl game that's tough. I kind of like Boise here, frankly. I think their defense will keep them in it. They kind of remind you of Utah a little bit, kind of the way they play. And, Oregon took care of business there. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. They dropped 69 points in their last game against Oregon State. It won't be as easy here, but like I said, they remind me of Utah, Boise, and Oregon had no problem with them this year. So
I think this is going to be the blowout here. I think not blowout, but I don't think Boise gets embarrassed, but I don't think Boise will be able to keep up offensively with the Ducks. I brought it up. I hate to be redundant, but Justin Herbert, guys, he played in 7 games this year, Herbert. In the 7 games that Herbert played in, the Oregon Ducks averaged 52.1 points per game, highest in all of college football.
Yep.
In the 5 games he didn't play, they averaged 15 points per game.
And their backup quarterback's awful.
Yeah, and as Big Ben just mentioned, they fucking hung 69 on Oregon State in their last game here. Benoit, their backup running back behind Freeman, rushed for 122 yards in that game. They've got talent. It's an explosive offense. They don't have an interim coach. Cristobal's the real coach. No one can mail it in. I think they're going to send a message, man. They're not fucking around. The Ducks are back. I think we're looking at a 48-31 type game. 50-35, 48-31. I think it sails over the number, and I think that the Ducks just out fucking pace them. They won't be able to keep up with the Ducks' speed. I think the Ducks' speed will just wear these guys out.
I think, Gabe, one of the big problems that I do have with Oregon, though, is are they able to go on the road and win? I mean, they look really bad this year on the road, and most of Herbert's success came in Austin Stadium. This team, was 1-4 against the spread on the road this year, and 1-4 straight up. They didn't have much success. 21 points a game. A lot of that was with Bauermeister at quarterback, but could Justin Herbert go on the road and win a game? That's another kind of concern here. And look,
well, it's a neutral site. I hear what you're saying.
Right.
I do look at how the teams, because they are road games, right? They're neutral games, but essentially they're road games. So if a team is a really bad road team, you're right. It's alarming going to a bowl game, but it's in Las Vegas. There's going to be a shitload of Duck fans there. There'll be a lot of Boise fans there as well. But it's not at Boise State. It's on a neutral field in Las Vegas.
I know. And that's the thing about bowl games that I find people continue to make the argument. It is on the road, though. Both teams are going on the road. So I'm looking at how these teams overall played on the road. That's just kind of my thing to the common thing that, well, it's a neutral game. But it is not in your own bed.
No, you're right. They're both on the road, essentially. I can't disagree.
Sure.
But they're both on the road, but it doesn't have the same dynamic
Right.
has a hostile road environment, right?
Sure.
I mean, the crowd noise isn't the same. It's, a lot of this bowl stuff too is how do teams react to the bowl week, right? I mean,
Sure.
and in any game throughout the year, guys, on a Thursday night before the game, they're not all going bowling together. They're not all going out to fucking Hooters. They're not all going out to the NASCAR racetrack and spinning. It's a different preparation. Like the coaches aren't riding these kids hard this week leading into these games. Maybe with the exception of a few coaches are real nut jobs. But for the most part, the bowl committees all have these kids' schedule laid out.
You also have two pretty big-time programs here that are not – I mean, they're not going on the road at a bowl game and all excited because they're on the road. They've never been out of the state that they live in. Yeah, these are two pretty seasoned programs.
Boise play in Las Vegas every 2 years. They're in the Mountain West.
Right. Plus, I mean, this isn't Central Michigan and Georgia State. I mean, these are teams that, Oregon's kind of glitz and glammy. They've been on the road, played big games. Same with Boise. Two coaching staffs that should be able to ring their players in. Yeah, that shouldn't matter too much. Just
I'm looking at a blowout. We'll agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah.
I think the Ducks cover the number, and I think it goes over the number as well.
There you go.
So you're leaning with Boise. Any opinion on the total?
No, not really. It's. I wonder how, like I said, how Oregon and Herbert. I have to look more into who he actually played. Kind of throughout the year. How he played against certain defenses, because there are a couple defenses that are good in the Pac-12 and some that aren't. You look at these games this year, Gabe. Southern Utah, who cares? Nebraska, who cares? At Wyoming, okay. At Arizona State, Cal, he only played 8. He only had 8 attempts there. And at Arizona and Oregon State, he missed Washington State, Stanford, Utah, Washington. I mean, he missed all the tough defenses. So I wonder, are his numbers a little bit skewed? That's the concern here. This is the 44th best passing defense in the country. They're one of the better rush defenses in the country. I wonder how he'll get on against a pretty good defense, because let's be real, he hasn't faced many this year.
No, I can't disagree. But how good is the Mountain West Conference? How great are the teams, the offenses that Boise have faced as well? This is an interesting bowl game. This is the coolest bowl game of the day tomorrow.
Surely, I mean it's the premier matchup of the day. Surely,
and to be honest, I've spoken to a lot of people this week, and people have made arguments for both teams. And I've been talking to people. The books are getting action on both teams. It looks like there's a little bit of a drop right now to 6.5 with the Royce Freeman news that he's going to be out in this football game. But I'm still sticking to my guns here. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but 40-30, 42-30, 45-31. I keep coming back to her in that ballpark. I think the Ducks score 52 a game with Herbert. Let's say they don't get to 52. They're not getting held to 27. The Ducks aren't scoring 18 points tomorrow. What are they going to score? 35, 38, maybe get into the 40s. And, the Ducks defense isn't great, but we'll see what Boise can do. I'm confident in this, though. And I don't like teasers. And USA scored, so the 4.5's dead. I don't like teasers in college because there's blowouts and shit in these bowl games. Like, oftentimes one team will get fucking killed and roll over. But in this scenario, I don't mind Oregon tees to the over here. We'll take the point spread equation out of the mix. We just need to win the football game. And then suddenly we have the 61.5, or was it up to 63 now? What is it?
Yeah, for the record, also, there's a lot of talk in the chat box about Oregon's coach is leaving. Oregon's coach is not leaving. They've already named
Oregon's coach is gone, and they hired a new one already.
Cristobal's already the coach. So
and 72 kids on the Ducks sign a fucking petition demanding that he get the job. They like him so much.
Right. They're going to play this game really hard. I mean, you're going to have a good football game here. Real good football game.
Yeah, there's not a case where the Oregon staff has like a D-line coach going, oh, geez, shit. What do I do here? Do I call timeout?
Right.
Yeah. Like Mario Cristobal was a former head coach, guys. Florida.
And he was really. Listen, we can make the case that we might not have picked him, but the players really wanted him. Obviously, Phil Knight wanted him. So I think you're definitely going to get a great effort out of both these teams in this bowl game.
Yeah, I'm not a big Harsin fan, though. And listen, you know what? And I said this too. I was a little harsh on national TV last week. I kind of fucking said, really, Cristobal is the new guy? But it's not against Cristobal. Just for me, if you're the Ducks and you're so that high profile, you can't get, how about Lane Kiffin? I don't understand. How come the Ducks didn't want to hire Lane Kiffin? For the life of me, I don't get it. It just seemed like a natural fucking fit, man. Chip Kelly goes to UCLA. He's going to try to cut into your fucking turf now. I mean, at this point, it's crazy. Can you imagine the timing of this big man? If Taggart would have left before, Chip Kelly could have just went back to Oregon. Instead, he's with UCLA right now.
Yeah, I heard talk that they considered, there's talk of that, but could you imagine that he leaves UCLA right after he joins?
If you're going to do it, now's the time to do it before you coach the game, right? Just say, listen, hey, this is extenuating circumstances. I'm going back home here, but it is what it is. But the Ducks have been weird with their hiring. They went with Helfrich, and then they bring Taggart in.
I think they're looking to get.
It's fucking 3-1. I got it wrong. Either way, they're up to 4 goals right now.
I think they're looking to get some consistency at the coaching position. I mean, they haven't had it. It's kind of been a revolving door there. I think the new thing nowadays is to go after the young, hot assistant that you can build a program with. He's going to get paid a ton of money here. I don't hate it, but I could have seen a bigger splash maybe.
Yeah. All right. See, I got it wrong. 3-1. Sorry. We got the under 4.5. We're still fucked. They're not going to go another 15 minutes without scoring a goal here. This referee chick fucking keeps calling penalties. All right. So we'll agree to disagree on this one. I think the Ducks easily cover, and I think the game will go over the number. I don't know. We'll probably agree on this next one, maybe. Marshall and Colorado State. Marshall used to not be, D1. So, in their older days. So Marshall have only played in 12 bowl games in their history. They used to play in playoffs and shit. So Marshall played in 12 bowl games. They've won 10 of them. That is by far the best winning percentage. And you have to have a minimum of 4 to get into the chart. So they've had 12 bowl games in their program history. They've won 10 of them outright. The current coach, Doc Holliday, is 4-0 straight up and against the spread in bowl game, taking on a Colorado State team that I don't think is going to be very enthusiastic to be playing in this football game. They're going to New Mexico. They play on this field every fucking 2 years. Marshall lived for these fucking bowl games. And from an athlete perspective there, it's not like Colorado State have money better athletes than Marshall do. Marshall are a little rawer than Colorado State are, but you're going to have a lot of team speed out there. You're going to have the enthusiasm factor. We should note that it is down to 3.5 right now from the 5.5, big man.
Yeah, I have a feeling we see kind of a shootout in this game. I know Marshall's got a pretty good defense, but Colorado State's got a pretty good offense. And I think we're going to see a game that gets into the 30s, both these teams. I mean, Colorado State likes to throw the ball around 501 yards a game. I think they're a bit of a fraud on defense. Their numbers are decent. They're not anywhere near what they are technically. And there's a lot of injuries for Marshall on the defensive side. A lot of undisclosed kind of things, which is concerning. I mean, you have 6 or 7 undisclosed things going on with Marshall players. You might want to keep abreast of what's going on there. That could be some sort of curfew kind of thing, some sort of team kind of thing that they're out of games like this. That's one of the things you're going to have with teams like this.
Yeah. Like you said, some teams not impressed with the trip. Imagine, big man, the fucking worrisome that you'd have to be being the Marshall coach about these fucking kids on the loose. Like,
yeah, and
listen, my buddy played for Marshall, and he got kicked off the team for fucking dealing coke and having a gun, all right? And that was like his 3rd arrest, and it took 3 arrests to get kicked off the team. He's in the CFL now, or he was. He told me once, and I'll say this now because it's been years, but he told me that fucking, like, there were 22 kids on the team that got arrested in 1 year. That it's frequent. Like, they're out of – it's Marshall, right? So as you stated, God knows what these kids fucking did this week.
And it's interesting when you look at bowl game situations, and many people think that when you go to Miami or Bahamas or all these different places, this is where you're going to get into trouble. But it's these smaller university towns, these smaller areas. There's a listener of the shows that he's on regularly. He played at Maryland back in like the early kind of late 2000s, 2010-ish. And he was telling me that he went to the Potato Bowl in Boise a couple different times. And he said, you talk about a wild atmosphere of Boise. I would have never have known that. And you learned some of these smaller, Albuquerques and Boise's and these little places, you can get into some trouble. You got these.
I know, dude. You're right. Because, well, you know what it is? Because in the big city, the cops they're not going to give a shit, right?
Yeah.
If some kid's smoking weed outside of a bar, or some kid maybe shady IDs getting drunk, it's a big city. Nobody cares. Look at the story the other day with the kid on the Georgia Bulldogs. Big man, he got busted with a size of weed. I know you're not a weed guy, but did you see it was the quarter of a penny? So to put it in like street worth, big man, that Georgia linebacker got busted with about 59 cents worth of weed.
I saw it. It's brutal.
Like it was, like who's going to do that? Like a cop in a big city's not busting anyone for that, right? So you're right. It does get into that. You do get into that. All right. So I will keep my eye on a suspension or whatever going on. But at the same point in time, I got to believe the betting market would be aware of this and it's dropped. Or is it just all the hype of everyone realizing Marshall's the play here?
Yeah, I think with this game, I don't think many people really know what to expect. I mean, Colorado State's been kind of a weird team. Marshall is another team that you look at kind of in the middle of the year. This team was kind of an outside chance to maybe be one of those real good group of six teams, and they weren't able to do that. They had a bad loss to FIU in there, and it's just kind of a weird game. But from what I've read, Marshall only arrived yesterday in Albuquerque. They arrived to a mariachi band, which is very nice and all. But again, I don't know what all these suspensions are. I'm seeing undisclosed, which when you're seeing undisclosed stuff, that's a concern, because that could be some sort of suspension kind of thing. So I would definitely maybe look into that. And I would also advise, go to the local newspapers, Huntington, West Virginia, Herald Dispatch. Places like that. Bowls are all about situations, like what how many kids have been out of the state or where they're from and things like that. Read the local newspapers, because you have this Huntington, West Virginia newspaper. They literally laid out every single thing that they're going to be doing while they're in Albuquerque. So
here's a little interesting tidbit about stuff like that. The Akron quarterback is actually from Boca Raton, Florida, which is pretty crazy. He's playing in this game. One thing we should note, too, about Bobo, not Bano, but Bobo, Coach Bobo, 0-3 in bowl games and against the spread straight up in ATS. Colorado State have struggled in these bowl games, big man. So it's kind of, it is what it is, all right? Now, you got to go in a few minutes here, or in a minute. So
I could do about 10 more minutes.
Yeah, all right. So we got the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. No one's really talking about this one because it's Saturday night. We got the Chiefs and the Chargers on the board tomorrow. We'll get to that game later, guys. But I like this game, and I think the number's a little short here. Middle Tennessee State are just not a very good football team, big man. They're like 1-4 against bowl teams this year, 2-8 in the last 10 games against bowl teams. So in other words, if they play a team that's 6-6 or better, they lose. And Arkansas State don't get the same hype Troy do, but to me, there's not a lot of difference between Arkansas State and Troy. And Arkansas State are another team that loves these bowl games. They get fired up for this stuff. I think we get a convincing win for Arkansas State in this game tomorrow night.
Yeah, Donnie and I tell you with this game, I think the one thing with Middle Tennessee, you have to remember, a lot of their season they play without their quarterback, Stockstill. He's back in there, and with him, they're very good offense. Without him, they just weren't. They had their backup quarterback got injured, and they were down to a third-string quarterback. He's back now, the coach's son. With him in there, they're a totally different offense. 38 points a game since he's come back. I'm going to look at another shootout here. I don't think – I'm wondering why this total is only 62.5. It's kind of odd. I definitely think both these offenses are mostly pass-driven. They're also mostly two teams that do struggle to defend as well. I think we see a back-and-forth bowl game here. This is a boring a game, though. I mean, you have a bowl assignment, and it's to go to Mobile, Alabama. Not exactly.
Montgomery.
Okay, Montgomery. There you go. Which, by the way, Montgomery was integral in Doug Jones' big victory the other night. Shout out to Salmon Montgomery, big win there. But yeah, it's not a great place to go for a bowl game. You want to go to the LA or the Bahamas or wherever. This isn't exactly exciting, but I think we see a shootout here.
Big man, you know as much about college basketball as anyone I know. But do you know about Simon Fraser University?
Yes, I believe they're a Canadian school. They haven't won in a long time, I believe.
Yeah. So what's the deal? Like, what are they in the NCAA? Are they not? Or like, how's this work?
No, what you have here is early in the season, a lot of teams do this, where these NAIA schools and Division II and all these different colleges will. Basically, they're paydays. They're going to get paid to come. It's a lot like these.
Yeah, I know, but the exhibition. I know, but Idaho's in the regular season now. So yeah, before the year starts, like team SMU comes to Toronto, came to Toronto this summer.
It's usually a friendly thing that they have.
No, but I'm saying Simon Fraser, though, I think are in the NIAU. They're the only Canadian team that's in the NCAA, but I just don't understand like what conference they're in or what the format is.
They're Division II, Gabe.
Okay, so Division II, yeah, because they're the only Canadian university that play in American university athletics.
Yeah, my thing would maybe be there's a lot of the time you'll see there's some sort of connection to maybe one of the coaches at Simon Fraser maybe was an assistant at some time with Don Verlin, the coach at Idaho.
No, I know. I'm not saying that, big man. I know there's exhibitions all the time. I'm aware of that. This isn't an exhibition. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's not.
Simon Fraser are an NCAA team. It's not an exhibition game.
It is an exhibition. This does not count towards the season. Division II. It's not gonna. I don't know that it'll show up on Idaho's win-loss schedule.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand the format either. Like, what if Simon Fraser's playing these games and it doesn't count for them, or
it usually doesn't count. If you, for instance, there's a team in Georgia named Toccoa Falls. They're arguably one of the worst basketball teams I've ever seen assembled. They lost by 100 points this year to Appalachian State. They literally play all these teams basically in the hopes that they'll get stronger. And if you look at if you look at Idaho's schedule, this game's not listed. I don't believe on the schedule as far as it counting. But why they do this, I'm not totally sure.
All right, 38-28 right now at the half for San Francisco. Up 10 on UC Davis. And settle down, D. Patrick. Holy fuck, man. Just because we're down by 10, the game's not over. Fuck.
D. Patrick knows everything about sports. He never loses, so I wouldn't pay too much attention.
No, I just hate the, like, I've seen like 3 times. Like earlier before, I saw guys, it's a rout. Our UC Davis bet's dead. I look, they're down by 6, fuck. Yeah,
I mean, the problem that San Francisco or UC Davis is having is Santa Clara's went with a big lineup, and they're getting they're being really effective down low. Listen, the whole world's on UC Davis. I mean, and that's what happens. I sent this play out like at noon, and look, there's 5 games on the board. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of public money on these games.
At the last second, it started to drop. It hit 3.5 right before tip-off. Mm-hmm. The total I thought was too low at 131. So we'll see if we can split. So second half line here.
Serious, Gabe. I've never seen D. Patrick lose a bet in the chat ever.
I'm not saying that you've always said I haven't noticed that, but I've said I've noticed that he's like one person, like a lot of people that do the old early panic mode. Oh, we're dead. It's over. It's a rout when it's only 6 or 7 points.
Yeah, that's how people are. Whatever.
All right. So I wanted to before we get you out of here, college basketball. I was looking down tomorrow. Not a ton of massive big college basketball games tomorrow. It seems like the state of Indiana is the place to be tomorrow. The Hoosier State. We've got what do we got? We got Purdue and Butler, and then we got Notre Dame and Indiana tomorrow afternoon. Any thoughts on these top 25-ish games?
I just started kind of looking at the card as I kind of came in here earlier.
Seton Hall and Rutgers playing.
Yeah, that's one that I'm kind of zeroing in on. Rutgers is a solid basketball team. This is one of those New Jersey matchups, but Seton Hall is a freight train to me. I mean, they're really good. They're going to be a team all year that's going to make money. I think, to me, Rutgers is a bit fraudulent. I mean, they haven't beat a ton of good teams. Great defensive group, but again, they haven't played anyone really. The concern you have with Seton Hall is, Gabe, in late game situations, laying points, they're not a good foul shooting team. That's the only concern I ever have with back at Seton Hall. But this could be one of those games where Rutgers gets their head caved in after really not playing anyone. Now you play a real team. And this is a big New Jersey matchup, both these teams being from that state.
Man, college basketball season has arrived. Everything's all right again in the world because these guys aren't even conference rivals anymore. I almost took it for granted. I was like, oh, good, Syracuse, Georgetown. I grew up watching this shit, man, like East Coast style. Nice to see these teams playing. And Patrick Ewing, of course, now head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas.
I'm a fan of his, and I think he's going to do a really good job at Georgetown.
8-0 to start the season so far, but they really haven't played anybody, right?
Let's go over their wins here. Jacksonville, Mount St. Mary's, Maryland Eastern Shore, Richmond, Maine, Coppin State, Howard, North Carolina A&T. I mean, you literally –
the Richmond Spiders legitimately, and Richmond's not even that good this year. That's their biggest win, the Richmond Spiders.
It was only by 6. So, I mean – this Georgetown team, I think they get a real.
That's how John Thompson used to schedule, though. Patrick learned from the best.
Right. It doesn't. This is not a way to start the season. I know you want to build your kids up and get them 8-0, but now you're going to face a real team tomorrow in Georgetown or in Syracuse, who I got to tell you, I think this is one of the better defensive groups Boeheim's had. They're very long. They defend at a high rate. Really good zone this year.
You got to be able to shoot to beat them this year, like as always. But right. Georgetown never been known for being a good 3-point shooting team. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. You look at Syracuse. 8-1. Their only loss of the year was to Kansas. That was a close game. They beat Maryland. They beat UConn. They've definitely played tougher slate. A nice start for Ewing. I like what he's done to pad the record a little bit, get some confidence for the kids. But this is going to be tough, man. And this is in the NBA arena where the Wizards play too.
The only thing that was weird about Syracuse, Gabe, is they got beaten up by Kansas, which isn't anything bad. I mean, you're going to lose to Kansas, not a big thing. But they had a player leave the team. He was one of their better players. He just left the team.
I had Kansas in that game. What was the score? Yeah, 76-60. You're right. What was the game I was thinking of? I was on Kansas in that game, actually.
Yeah, it was weird because he left the team just out of nowhere. And they bounced back, though. They've won 2 straight since. They've been able to find other options.
They did hang around a bit in that game. The score is a little deceptive, but Kansas did pull away in the second half.
No, they played well in the second half. They were able to kind of shoot their way into it a little bit, but Devontae Graham had a huge game. He had 35 points in that game, and it was in Miami. It was a random game. I like Syracuse a lot. They're well coached. I love that zone they play. I think Georgetown's gonna. This is their first really tough game. I think they get smacked in the face.
Their first, not even really tough game. It's their first real game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like without a doubt. I mean, that's I don't see how. We're not bashing you, D. Patrick. Settle down. Always bashing me.
I am kind of.
Oh, you? I'm not bashing. I'm just saying, just be positive, D. Patrick.
He doesn't. He's always like that.
And Shy Pick says, "Don't be a snowflake."
He's another one.
Shy Picks. I love Shy Picks though. He's so consistent. Shy Picks, what I like about you is your smile and your avatar. You're like,
it's questionable how consistent he is, but
what's that?
He can be irritating. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. I don't get upset by people's political.
He's a nice guy though. He's always.
I don't push my political stuff on Shy Picks. He doesn't push it on me.
He definitely does do that, but again, that's another discussion.
Yeah, it's like I don't agree with a buddy of mine in Vegas about a lot of things, but he had a good point because someone else was trying to cause division with him about stuff with Trump this and politics that.
Right.
My buddy in Vegas said, he goes, bro, never have I been in a sports book and someone asked me who I fucking voted for. Stop talking to me about this. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
By the way, also, according to the
Not everybody should agree anyways. People are going to think differently. You know?
according to what I've seen here, Lorenzen Wright, who was murdered, supposedly his ex-wife has just been taken into custody about the death, which could be a little.
Well, it's too bad you can't hang around. I wish I would have gotten you on earlier just because I was going to bust your balls about the Big Baller brand. I wanted to play a little video review.
Well, I'll tell you what. We can hang out for 5-10 more minutes. Let's do it. What do you got on that?
Want to hear the audio review?
On what?
Did you order the shoes yet, or did you just order the shirt?
Actually, you're going to play me the review from Barstool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually want to make a comment about the shoes if I can. I'm a big sneaker guy. I don't know if you know that. I'm a big Jordan guy. I love sneakers. I'm not a fan of the sneakers. They're not. They're ugly. I've told Zach that. Zach, me and Zach were going to consider maybe doing some sort of giveaway. But I said to him, I said, I don't know if people would even want these.
Yeah. So, yeah, at least you're saying, the quality. Yeah, for the people that haven't heard it, let's play it for them.
Yeah, let's hear that. It's actually pretty funny.
Let's get it. It's taking me a second here. Of course, now that I want to find it, of course, I can't. This is what happens when I get too many fucking tweets from people.
By the way, the guy that did that review is the same guy that got into it with what's his name? Do you remember that? The Yankee thing? You remember that?
Oh, is that the guy that got into it with Tommy G?
KFC, yeah.
Yeah, but essentially they sound like they're all right. Here it is. Here, all right. We'll be able to play the audio. You guys can hear this shit.
A year I was waiting to become a big baller. It took 6 months for my big baller shoes to arrive. Half a year I was waiting to become a big baller when I ordered my ZO2s back in May. They are here, and they are absolute trash. A complete brick. $495. Comes in this supposedly fancy box. Got a little magnetic opening, and it literally is completely falling apart. Not even like ripping it apart, just fucking little sack here, little satchel. I don't know, satin or some shit like that. I ordered it. I sized 10.5. LeVar just said, "Oh no, you'll get a size 30."
I like that he says random sizes, big man.
Decide your shoe size. LeVar decides your shoe size. You got this thick ass clunky sole. This material here on the toe box, it feels like sandpaper. This seems like something you would scrub a dirty pot with. This tongue right here, get a good look. It's felt. Like, I'm not talking like, felt-like material. This is actually something you would use in like a second grade project. I feel like you could like rip it if I really wanted to. Turn around to the heel here. We have the pull tab on the shoe. And in case you forgot that, they told you. They wrote the word pull on it. Also, it's falling apart. The letters are peeling off of it. Just take a nail to it. And the pull tab no longer says pull. On the sole here, you got something here in the middle that I'm sure is supposed to be like an air bubble or some sort of performance technology. It's nothing. This is not patent leather. This is not some sort of new technology from the Big Baller brand. This is just straight plastic. These are plastic shoes. And on top of that, they're pretty much just ugly as shit. LaMelo and LiAngelo are going to go over to Lithuania. They're going to try to give these shoes out to the homeless of Lithuania. They're going to have no interest in it. What could the profit margin on these shoes be? This right here costs no more than a dime to make. And we're selling for $500. I would just hope they wouldn't be complete and total garbage. I was a big baller. I was all in on the Ball family. This is just a blatant slap in my face. I mean, they're big, thick, black, clunky plastic shoes. The only thing uglier than the Big Baller brand kicks is Lonzo Ball's jump shot. And even then, it's a toss-up. I can't tell you which one's uglier.
Well, there's a great review, and I think pretty fitting of the Big Baller brand. Fuck.
Yeah, it's interesting that you played that because Dan Lebitard actually on his show today was mentioning how he bought 2 pairs and they were the total wrong size also. And Dan was discussing whether he wanted to return them, and then Stugatz basically said, well, you're not going to get your money back. And Dan said, well, what do you think? They're not going to send me my money back? And he goes, no, they'll probably just send you something else, or
Yeah, they'll send you another pair of shoes, but it'll take like 24 months for those ones to show up.
I'll admit, I've ordered the shirts and stuff, and I actually ordered another shirt, but it took a while. But I've heard a lot of problems with the sneakers. I didn't like the sneakers to begin with. I thought they looked cheap.
The thing is, I brought them up earlier, and I said I bought a pair of Starberries years ago, and I still fucking have them. Like they're so durable and so fucking tough. It's insane. And he made literally like $800 million selling that shit. Like he became so rich, he quit the NBA. And the shoe lasted, but he even admitted they were cheap, and he was charging $10 a pair for them, or $13 at originally, less than 15 or whatever. Like it sounds to me like the big ballers went the same route, said, let's make a shoe for as cheap as fucking possible. And then they tag a $500 price tag on it. It's fucking insanity to me. Like,
yeah.
Earlier, big man, like if they're going to do this, why not do it for real then? Put some fucking gold on your shoes. Put something on it. Hey, look at this crazy technology. The shoes are fucking, it's like an iPad. It plays music. Like fucking have something where you're like, yeah, it's $500, but it's fucking cool. Instead, they're like, yeah, it's $500, but it's a piece of fucking junk. Like, that's just bad business. It's small thinking. Like, LeVar is just a small thinker. He's like a hustler. He's not a good businessman.
Yeah, listen, I've spent $500 on sneakers, but those were like the Brett 11s. I've spent the Space Jam 11 Jordans. I mean, I'll spend money on sneakers, but I just don't think they're ugly sneakers, frankly. They look dirty. They just, yeah, look, but like the comment in the video, what's the profit margin on these? I mean, he is making a ridiculous margin back on them.
No, but if he doesn't sell any of them, like how much is he going to make? And he's not really selling too many of them.
Yeah, I would be interested to see their first quarter, their third or fourth quarter earnings for that. I don't know how much they've sold. That'll be interesting. There's a pair of them on eBay right now for sale, $12,500. They're autographed by Lonzo Ball. But yeah, if you're going to spend $500 on them, I would probably be looking towards Jordans, or go buy a pair of Yeezys for a couple $100 more.
This is unbelievable, guys. We actually hit the under 4.5.
How about that?
Woman hockey. Hey, Amar, you hit it too. Hey, brother, boom. You know what? I was fucking talking so much. I looked up. I thought that it was tied 2-2. And you're right. It was 3-1. Canada wins 3-1. Didn't touch the side, but we hit under 4.5. Sweat job. Great saves by these goalies. Boom. Winner, winner. And how about the Houston Rockets over 213? That motherfucking pick sailed over the number. So starting to get a little bit of a zone here right now going into tomorrow. So, yeah, so, before we get you out of here, big man, it's some decent college games, actually. So I'm 100% on board with you here as far as Syracuse being too much for Georgetown. Georgetown's going to be exposed in this spot tomorrow. That's an early game at 12:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to be on that one. We got Louisville and Memphis on the board tomorrow. Memphis are getting 12. Purdue, 7.5-point road favorites at Butler. Davidson and Virginia playing in the afternoon. Kentucky, 5-point favorites at home against Virginia Tech. Indiana and Notre Dame. That game's on Fox tomorrow. That'll be an interesting, that'll be a fun basketball game. Notre Dame laying 6.5 points on the road at Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana is a team that I think, they're going to be a work in progress, but I think they're going to get better. Archie Miller's a good coach. They're not going to be down for too long. And look, Notre Dame always seems to play these close games, 2 or 3 point games. One that I'm kind of interested in, Gabe, it's kind of off the radar, but it's a team that you and I are pretty familiar with. UNLV, 583, 584. They're heading on the road to take on Pacific. Number's a little low, I feel like. But it's only 6.5 at Pacific.
One thing they don't travel well. They never have, right? But
that's the big concern. The only road game they've played, the true road game they played, was
Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa, right? I think they're way more talented than the Pacific is.
And also, there's a big difference between going up there to California, Stockton, California, than going to Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa is disorientating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
kids on UNLV aren't used to going to North. They're not used to Iowa.
Oh, no.
It's a weird plane ride. There's no excitement. It's kind of, what the fuck? And you're playing a bunch of, good white guys and shit. It's just kind of it's unnerving. It's like we talk about it in college football. I always like geographic and taking kids out of their element. UNLV kids aren't out of their element in Stockton, California. You know what I mean? They're on the West Coast. It's sunny. Stockton's kind of the hood. It's like, whatever, fuck. It's not a big deal for these kids on UNLV to go there.
Right. And Pacific is, a work
They
in
don't have
progress.
any either, Pacific.
Right. Damon Stoudemire will get something worked out there. I'd imagine somebody. But this is a huge talent discrepancy here. I think this is one of these games where I think you got to look to bet this game now. I mean, to me, this is one you just auto bet, frankly. I don't really see what you have to think about here. This looks like one of those games where I think the number's just way too low.
Yeah, I just have a hard time trusting UNLV on the road. Like they've always struggled.
I think one thing with them this year is they have Marvin Menzies a great coach. They have a lot of their talent is really good on this team. It really is.
Oh, they are.
I think in this kind of spot, I think I'd be more inclined to be interested. One other one I'm interested.
McCoy is going to. I saw a mock draft the other day. I was looking, and McCoy went. They're saying McCoy's a 10 to 15 type guy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to go not quite lottery, unless maybe potential, but essentially as it is right now, if they drafted players today, he'd go like 15th overall type thing.
I think if I'm him, again, you'd have to look towards the end of the year. If I was him, I would consider maybe another year at UNLV, probably. I don't know his situation, but
I would take the money, babe. Come on, big man. How the fuck? Let's say, okay, let's say he goes 12th. Let's say he goes 12th in the NBA draft.
That'd be a lottery pick, though. Yeah, that's where you're going to get your big money.
Yeah, but, dude, it's still money, man. Like, that is big money. Like, if you and I right now were given, $1.8 million a year, is that big money? Like, yeah, like if he doesn't have any money, that is big money.
The class, though, this year, Gabe, is really good. I mean, there's a lot of real good
players. But I'll tell you, I'm never one of these guys, big man, that believes that there you go. I mean, look at Matt Barkley. Look at Matt Barkley. Look at Sam Darnold. You get these guys, that Andrew Luck it worked out for going back, but there's so many guys that go back, and you can talk about that, big man, and say, listen, look at the class now, and next year, you don't know. It's college, man. Fucking kids come out of nowhere every year and get displaced.
Yeah, and
I think this way. Coming into this year, people were talking about the Jets tanking to get Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's probably not even going to be the first quarterback taken now, right? Let alone the first player taken. He won't even be the first quarterback taken. If last year coming into this year, people were like, would have given you their fucking nut to tell you, oh, yeah, Sam Darnold's the number one pick in the NFL draft. He's not even a number one quarterback. Like teams like Rosen way better than they like him right now for some reason.
I guess the concern I have with McCoy is like I like him a lot. I just think Ayton, Begley, they're better bigs in this class. But I mean, Miles Bridges is a guy that kind of comes to mind for me. I mean, last year at Michigan State, he probably should have left. He decided to stay. I don't know. I think you're right though. I mean, if you're right around that lottery pick, I think you got to make the move.
Well, big man, you can't tell me that you like the Ball brothers playing for $500 a month and say that it's not a guy's not going to take $3 or $5 million. I get that it's not a massive deal. He's still a millionaire. Like you get drafted in the NBA in the first round, you are a millionaire. So you can't say, oh, he's not. Yeah. You don't think that some kid that was in high school 4 months ago isn't thinking, well, it'd be pretty cool to be a millionaire in April this year.
I get that, but when you're a lottery pick, you're getting shoe deals, you're getting all sorts of big time things.
There's no guarantees, right? I mean, he could break his fucking leg. Yeah. Some other kid could be much better. He could suddenly lose his game. Logan Thomas, the quarterback for Virginia Tech, was the next Cam Newton. Right now, he's a fucking backup tight end on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I listen. I mean, I think he could be an NBA lottery pick. We'll see how the season goes. But the Ball brothers are not playing in Lithuania for money purposes. Clearly, listen, we could make our case. If they were my sons, would I send them to Lithuania? No, I would probably the younger one. I would consider like an IMG Academy type of place, a prep school, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can do that too. Exactly.
The whole we have to play together thing is just kind of, I think, a scapegoat. And I think if it's interesting because I saw them interviewed 2 days ago on the Breakfast Club in New York, and LaMelo Ball seems out of it. The youngest son. I don't know if there's anything to do with him it just being early in the day or something, but he seems to be a little irritated, I feel like, with the decision. But I don't know. I don't know how long they'll last there, probably. I don't know.
I don't want to pick on the kid, but he doesn't, they're not the smartest kids in the world, these two. Like,
Yeah.
so he's a young kid. So,
I really wish, and I will ask you to do one thing for me, please. Just asking one thing out of you. One of these nights, I want you to watch 1 or 2 episodes of their show and tell me if you feel the same way about them. Give them a chance.
All right, I'll watch an episode. I don't hate on them. I'm just stating clearly that, look, if he didn't play basketball, fucking LeAngelo didn't have a hope in hell in getting into UCLA. I'll put it that way. Right?
No, I won't.
He can barely talk. Fuck.
I won't
disagree. And
disagree.
the other kid's getting a great education. Fuck. Like, where's he go to school now as a teenager?
He's homeschooled.
Yeah, no, that's great. Fuck yeah. By who?
His
By
father.
Like I said, whatever, man. Like, the kid looks like he's dumb. Fuck. They're just dumb kids. And, LeVar's raised them to be big ballers, but, like, he's destroying their kids' lives, bro. It's just,
I think
I don't care. It's his life. It's his sons. What the fuck do I care? But the sad thing is they seem like nice kids. They seem like nice kids, these two. And they're being exploited, taken advantage of. So LeVar Ball can get on TV. It's fucking embarrassing.
I agree
with everything. Did you see Charles Barkley, what he said?
Yeah, I mean, but Charles is you have to remember, Charles and everyone has to understand, LeVar's made the comment that he doesn't make them do anything. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it.
He's a 16-year-old kid.
Right. And again, but I don't think he's going to put his kid in a bad situation.
And here we are now. We're 1 month into the season, or 2 months into the NBA season. And it's to the point now where you saw that Magic met with LeVar the other day and told him to shut the fuck up for real. They basically told him, like, stop talking about it. Stop everything. Like, they're going to regret it, dude. Like, I'm just going to sit back and watch the implosion. But drafting LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball, and LeVar comes with him was a big mistake for the LA Lakers. And you're going to see it's going to fucking hurt them when they try to get free agents, bro. No legitimate real free agent, star guy is going to want to come in here and play with Lonzo and fucking deal with LeVar.
Okay, I think one thing that I don't understand about people that want to continue to say he's exploiting the kid. What does every college team do? All of them exploit the kids. It's no different.
He's sending a 16-year-old kid that has NCAA potential to play in a fucking D League in a foreign fucking country for $500 a month. That's great parenting, dude, right? I mean, the LeAngelo kid's an adult. Fuck, who cares? He's a fucking thief. He's an adult. Whatever, fuck. Who cares what happens to him? The fucking kid, the little kid, he's a good player, dude. Why are you fucking with his life? Let him fucking get laid in California and go to high school and fucking, let him get recruited by fucking Krzyzewski and all these guys. But no, LeVar knows better. I averaged 2 points a game as a backup fucking scrub at fucking Washington State that I've seen fucking white guys at the fucking Y could have beaten in those days. Like, it's a fucking joke, dude. Lonzo, I'm not talking about Lonzo. Lonzo's an NBA player, NBA talent, but his parenting skills, he's fucking whack. And I don't care that the mother had a stroke. Fuck. Can she fucking write something down? I agree with everything Barkley said. He's a bad father. And the only way you can erase this if he stays in Lithuania with the kids the whole time. But I guarantee you ain't doing that. Fuck. It's just going to drop him off there and leave him there.
Yeah, again, his brothers all work for him. They'll be there with him. They're living in a beautiful spa, like condo kind of thing. Listen, we obviously clearly have our differences here with this. I think he's everything that's right about a father and what a father but again,
you think he's everything that's right about a father?
Yes, I think he's a great father. I think he's done everything.
He's a great father.
I think he's done everything in his power to help his kids succeed. How is he not? What has he not done? He's been everything for them.
It's like
giving them every chance to succeed possible.
It's like I'm in a twilight zone here. Like, if I can't At this point, if you are literally telling me that he's a great father that's done everything for his sons to succeed, I can't. Like, we're not going anywhere here. Like,
I mean, he's put a kid in the NBA, and he's got kids that are
his kid just fucking stole shit in China.
I mean, they stole a bag. You act like he murdered somebody. You never stole nothing in your life.
No,
You
but
made a mistake. What are you going to do? Move on. I mean,
Like-
he made a mistake.
his kid just fucking, oh, I never would have thanked Donald Trump. They forced me to. They're ungrateful, overrated, and quite frankly, not very intelligent people. And as I stated, Lonzo Ball is fucking shit, but I'm not even going to pick on him because he's like the brightest one out of the bunch. But it's a train wreck, big man. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, if I'll give you credit, bro. You're fucking loyal, man. Like, I'd do a crime with you because I know you ain't talking and you know, you're going to go down stating, no, he's a good guy.
I want to make a point. I think LeVar Ball, is he a weird guy? Does he say some things that he shouldn't? Of course. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Is he a loud guy, a loudmouth? Sure.
He's a terrible father.
No, a terrible father.
It's to the point where it's negligent. Like, honestly, I don't understand like how the fucking child services doesn't step in and say, bro, you know, what are you doing with your kid here? What's going on? But I guess legally he can do it. He's 16. It is what it is. But
here's the thing. What he's doing here is he's sending them there. I don't look, like I said, it wouldn't be the place I'd send them probably, but they don't want to be under this microscope of the NCAA. They want to be able to continue the business that they have. Listen, they're probably not going to be over there for very long anyway.
No,
all I'm saying is
I know, but so that's great too. So it shows their great commitment, right? I don't expect them to last 3 weeks. I state that they'll be back before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, then there's no harm, no foul. Kid can go to college, he'll go somewhere else, and that's it.
No, he just blew his eligibility. He just played pro for $500.
Listen, I think he'll.
They just blew their eligibility for $500 a month. It's great parenting, though.
LeVar has put them in a
joke. Like, he's an embarrassment. Like he's honestly an embarrassment. Charles Barkley, read Charles Barkley's comments.
I did. I did. And I don't.
Like Charles Barkley said, he's a fucking embarrassment as a father. And that's some pretty deep man-on-man shit here. When Barkley goes on TV and looks in the camera and says,
first of all, Charles Barkley should keep his nose out of it. It doesn't concern him. He shouldn't tell another man how to parent a kid. That's the first fucking rule. Second of all, Charles should worry about whatever exactly it is he worries about, getting sunned by Shaquille O'Neal every night. I don't know. Keep out of it. He clearly has a vendetta, like you, against LeVar Ball.
I know. It's a fucking witch hunt. Fake news.
I don't know how the NCAA is not exploiting every other kid either. Again, at least
listen. You're not going to find anyone that hates the NCAA more than me. I mean, I'm not disputing that.
But as far as, you know, he's a bad father. A bad father would be someone that leaves his kids as their infants and lets them live their life without knowing.
How come he didn't get him a better deal in a better league in a different country?
I'm not sure. I can't answer that.
You know what I'll answer? I bet you LeVar Ball is secretly making more money than his kids are behind the scenes. And it's some fucking warlord dude in Lithuania that owns the team probably gave LeVar fucking $1 million or $500,000 that he fucking kept. That'd be my guess. My guess is that he's fucking stealing from his kids. That would be my guess. Because no one's paying for $500 a month. So clearly there was some other shit that LeVar is probably managing, and, you know, he's a crook, bro. It's pathetic. I mean, another thing is, too, yeah, he's great. Every time he doesn't like a call with his shitty little youth team there, he walks off the court. He leads a great example for kids, big man. He's a real leader. He's a real Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, LeVar Ball.
Actually,
he's a real Mike Krzyzewski.
Okay, well, again,
he's a clown.
Around that situation, that ref had been doing very similar things the entire game, and he basically said, "Look, if she's not going to call the game correctly,
she's not going to call the game correctly, I'm going to leave." Right?
Well, look, again,
really, yeah, it's a great example he sets for his team. I don't like the call, so let's quit. He's a quitter. It's just, dude. It's negligent parenting.
Okay. Well, that's your opinion. I think he's I mean, the kids they can't want for anything. They have whatever they want. They seem to live a great life. Sending your kids over to play against men in a real league, I don't think that's that big a deal. My father used to drop me off in the hood and say, "You want to act like a tough guy? Get out of the car and go act like a tough guy." I never acted like a tough guy.
Farmer does ask a great question. What did LeVar Ball do for work? How did he make his money in the last few years before jumping on like Lonzo's fucking glory here? Like, what's he done in his whole life? What did he accomplish besides impregnating his wife there 3 times?
He owned a personal training company.
This guy's all flabby as fuck. He ain't even in shape.
Listen, I mean, we can comment on his. Listen,
I'd like to see his see what was his deal here in his life.
He was a personal trainer.
So in other words, he was unemployed. Personal trainer, that's kind of, that's pretty vague.
He trained athletes and stuff.
He trained athletes.
Correct. Listen, when LeVar Ball kills it, which he's doing already, again, user will all be. I look forward to the day
I'd
when
like to see what athlete that LeVar Ball trained. He couldn't even train an LA Kiss Arena Football League player.
Hey, look at his kid. Got his kid to the NBA. Did something right.
All right. Anyways, I don't know what we got to sound. I'm being called a hater now. LeVar played the NFL. He's a better tight end than Gronkowski. I know, personal trainer. That's like someone saying, I'm an actor. You know what I mean? It's like a waitress. You train Lonzo Ball. Hey, Lonzo's a good player. And Lonzo, like I said, they're good kids. It kind of, it sucks for them. That's what happens. You got a fucking parasite as a father. It is what it is. Hopefully one day when they grow up and they're like 25, 30 years, because that's the thing that I don't understand, big man. Like, Lonzo's not a kid. Like, he should man up. You know what I mean? But he's just a little like punk fuck. And he lets LeVar sort of troll him and overshadow him. It's embarrassing. And like at some point, they'll realize it. It's the same thing with the Williams sisters. Remember, like their father, eventually Serena and Venus basically told him, listen, you have 2 choices, Dad. You can shut the fuck up or we'll never talk to you again. So it's up to you. And you saw now the old man, he shut the fuck up. And they barely still talk to him. Same with Earl Woods. Earl was a big dick and fucking – but Earl Woods, like I saw you guys compare LeVar Ball to Earl Woods. There's a big difference. Earl Woods is a fucking perfectionist. Earl Woods was a nut job perfectionist that demanded perfection. LeVar Ball, like Earl Woods wasn't exploiting Tiger. Earl Woods was a nut job, but he wasn't exploiting his son. He wasn't stealing his money and like going on talk shows and living off his son's fame. He was just, my son, you're going to be the best. And he bred that in him and it backfired a little bit. Like you raised a good point though. His sons like him and shit. I'm not saying that he's the worst father ever in the world. There's definitely absentee and way worse fathers, but he's fucking up a professional talent with his kid here. That's the thing. Like his kid's not going to make it to the NBA at this rate, bro.
That's up for question. We'll see. But again, listen, I don't know what else to say about him. Clearly,
I just wanted to bring up the shoe thing. I don't want to argue about LeVar. We're not arguing. I'm just stating.
Oh yeah, shy picks. I'm so scared of Gabe. We just have a different opinion on this.
Yeah, I don't think he's scared.
I'm not scared at all. I just have a different opinion. When my father tells me something, I listen. And
you know what my deal would be with LeVar? I wouldn't even mind if he wants to do his thing. But sort of like what Jazz says, LeVar Ball can't be making decisions for his kids. He can't be.
If
Lonzo should go to Magic Johnson and say, Magic, what agent do you recommend out of everyone here? He should speak to LeBron and say, yo, Bron, man, should I sign with Jay-Z or should I sign with you guys and Maverick? What should I do? Speak to people that have actually been successful in their lives. Speak to Kevin Durant and say, Kevin, my father's selling $500 shoes that are pieces of shit that no one wants, and I didn't make any money because he blew my deal. You got $350 million for Under Armour. How did you do that? like everyone's walking around with money, big man. Like I'm just trying to like explain and trying to make the point that not only are they not smart, his stupidity cost his sons money. Nike was ready to give Lonzo a couple of $1 million, and he asked for $1 billion for his 3 punk ass kids, and they laughed at him. Fuck. And now look at him. It's bad. They're bad. They're bad. He's
now look at him. He's out making all of his own money on not having to share it with anyone and get exploited by Nike. That's a great idea. That's something I would do.
How was getting paid $2 or $3 million exploited by Nike?
Because I can go and get paid more than $2 or $3 million by selling my own product.
But he hasn't come anywhere near close to this.
How do you know? You don't know what the gross earnings.
We've already been through this. We showed you the receipts.
That has the projections are like our predictions. They either win or lose. They don't mean shit. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. We have no idea what they've sold because we don't know their earnings. Projections are like predictions. If LeVar Ball was white, like Juan White says, if he was white, he would not be a problem. The media and all of us, like he said, he's exactly right.
Fuck.
Society does not like black people they cannot control. And Guan is totally
crazy talk. You know what?
Guan White's
I want to bring up racism all the time and think everything's racist in the media. There's no way in hell that Lonzo Ball is getting any double standard. Like Lonzo, they're not even. You're nuts. They're on CNN the Today Show, dude.
We're talking more about LeVar.
Stephon Marbury didn't get on fucking with Chris Como in the morning.
We're talking more about LeVar.
Nah, I don't think it's because he's black. I just think because he's an asshole. You know who LeVar Ball is? I just realized it. Exactly. You know who he is? He's Michael Lohan. He's Lindsay Lohan's father. That's who he is. You're sort of there. I don't know, and you're trying to cash in. Like, you're not a good parent. You make, she's smart to say, you know what, just fuck off and get away.
Well, he was also a drug addict and a nut too, but
yeah. And that's one thing is I watched that. I saw somebody interview with on the Breakfast Club, and like Big Baller said, we don't do drugs and we don't drink. So, I don't hate them, big man. I'm looking out for you, big man. I'm trying to let you know. They're bad. He's an idiot.
I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to continue to make this point. They are going to be a game changer in athletics. I'm telling you. Just mark my words. It's coming.
Game changer in athletics.
It's already happening.
Stephon Marbury was a game changer.
It's already happening. You didn't even know who he was last year. Now he's selling millions of dollars worth of clothing and sneakers. You know who they are. They're already making waves. They're like me in this business. 2 years ago,
I know who Honey Boo Boo is. Doesn't mean that she's smart.
I'm not okay, Gabe. This isn't the end game, though. This is only the beginning. We already know who they are. They're going to make waves in culture as we know it in basketball and in sports. They're already doing it. Well, we'll see. How about this? We'll see. How about that?
All right.
So we'll see.
All right, fun. We all just looking coming out here now is a little battle fun. All right, big man. I don't want to keep you from your fucking big heroin deal here.
No, I got no heroin.
No, I know. I'm joking. We all know you're a bookie. Fuck. That's the word in the chat with everyone. It's Friday. I gotta go pay everybody.
No. Let me just do what I gotta do. All right.
Let me do what I gotta do.
Which one? I'm a bookie. I'm no bookie.
He doesn't want to say what he's doing. You can tell big man. All right, let me do what I gotta do. I just stop bringing it up.
Yeah. Listen. No need to talk. We'll just do our thing. Listen, Gabe, I want to make this clear. I always love chatting.
Because your ride left 40 minutes ago.
No, I got my car outside. I'm leaving in a little. But this is always a good chat because it is always, fuck off, Drew. All right, get out of here with that. Drew's always calling, talking shit. Go get your fucking shine box, Drew. How about that? Not in the mood. I'm already in a mood today. We're arguing here. You're going low blows, calling me to go get my shine box. We're having a conversation here. Settle down.
Yeah, no, exactly. Everyone chill out.
I'm a millennial. Gabe is a little older, and he has his opinion. I have mine. I mean, it's no different. We'll see. In 5 years, maybe everyone will tell me, you know what? You were a fucking loser. You had no idea what you were talking about.
My whole point is they did get the attention. I'll give them credit. LeVar got the attention. But and trust me, you can't con a hustler. And I've sold everything in my life over the fucking years. And if you can get people in the room, you sell them a shitty product once, you're not hustling them again. Like the little hustle's over. Like they totally didn't take advantage of. Like I said, if they actually make good products for a good price and a good deal, and even a little more expensive and premium, he could have raked shit in. But instead, Nike even said, listen, let's make a partnership. Let's do this. Let's do that. LeVar's sitting there, blah, 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 fucking trying to tell Nike how the shoe business works. And they fucking said, all right, fuck off. And all the shoe companies basically laughed at them, you know? And it's not that they were getting exploited from the shoe companies, but the shoe companies realized this guy's a fucking idiot. He has no idea what his son is worth. And, you know, we're not going to put up with it. And they did it. It's funny. I was surprised. I thought the shoe companies would bend over a bit more than they did. But they clearly realized LeVar's a fucking madman and we're not going to deal with it. So you'll see in a couple of years, I guarantee you, Lonzo will come crawling back to Nike. He'll have a deal with Adidas or Under Armour in a year or two. You'll see.
Maybe so.
He'll tell his dad the dream's over. Sell the big baller brand, but I'm not turning down 120 million from Under Armour. But Lonzo better learn to shoot a basketball, otherwise he ain't getting any shoe deal. Fuck.
Maybe you're right, but I feel that their business that they created, you know, it's I respect what they're doing. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how you could not respect what they're doing. But again, people don't like LeVar. That's fine. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. He says some stupid shit. I mean, but it's marketing. People know who he is. Now everyone knows who he is. I remember talking to you about this. It's Christmas time. That mom in middle America is going to say to her kid, yo, who's this LeVar Ball guy? Nobody's ever heard of any other father named LeVar Ball, but he was on the media at 10 o'clock on CNN. People watch that stuff.
He doesn't have any shit in stores, and if they order it, I guess they'll get it by next Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're listen, the shoe thing is definitely not working. And I've made a point. I don't like the shoes. I'm going to make that clear.
Yeah. You know what? Like I said, I wish Lonzo the best. I like to see the Lakers do well too. So I'm not I don't want to see him fail. I got no problem with Lonzo. All right, big man. So it's always a pleasure. So I guess we're not flexing on Sunday, right? Because it would have been announced and all this shit.
We're going to do the Sunday, the Patriots Steelers. I mean, I thought we got to make that happen, Gabe. Instead of the,
I know nobody gets back. You know the deal here. Like,
well, you know what? I'm going to make it a point.
We could just do it, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a clusterfuck. Well, it's just going to be a shitload of people on that Sunday night. They're going to come here. We're not going to be on.
Well, I think
we'll just do the Cowboys-Raiders game.
Well, I'm pretty sure I remember Zach Jones saying it was okay. I think people need to, you know, just be promoted and people understand when it is.
Oh, they'll be trying to promote it still. Yeah. It only takes a day or a couple hours, but.
Well, listen, I'll try to get in touch with someone there tomorrow. I know there's a new scheduler, Gabe. I don't know if you're aware. There's a new content gal. I'll have to get her in touch with you.
No.
I don't know if you maybe you don't. Maybe she hadn't reached out to you yet, but
I got an email. Who is it?
Yeah, her name's Ariana. She's great.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So maybe I'll reach out to her tomorrow and see if she's okay with that. I think it'd be a better idea. I think people would be a little bit more interested.
I like Ariana. No, I met her.
Yeah, she's nice. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure that out. But definitely a better game.
Big man, it's always a pleasure, bro.
Always good chatting with you about.
Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Nah, all good, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for the time, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Big man on campus. All right, it's the last time we ever argue about LeVar Ball and shit. Like, it's done. I just brought it up because of the fucking shoes. Settle down, Lucas. Yeah, no, I'm done with LeVar Ball. But yeah, his business, like LeVar Ball is actually like that guy today that interviewed for the Supreme Court job, or the court, the federal, the judge, the judicial nominee. There you go. Do you have any experience at all?
At Wiley Ryan, what?
Criminal.
No.
Bench.
So this guy, listen to this. This guy is going to be, wants to be a federal judge appointed by one of Trump's fucking flunkies here. And this isn't like bipartisan, like, oh, he's being fucked up by Democrats. This is a hardcore Republican guy from Louisiana asking him. So, yeah, but like, listen to the shock here.
Congratulations. You can just raise your hand on this one, if you will, to save a little time. Have any of you not tried a case to verdict in a courtroom? Mr. Pitts. Have you ever tried a jury trial?
I have not.
Civil?
No.
Criminal?
No.
Bench?
No.
State or federal court?
I have not.
Have you ever taken a deposition?
I was involved in taking depositions when I was associate at Wiley Ryan when I first came out of law school. But that was.
You ever? How many depositions?
I would. I'd be struggling to remember.
Less than 10?
Yes.
Less than 5?
Probably somewhere in that range.
Have you ever tried taking a deposition by yourself?
I believe no.
Okay. Have you ever argued a motion in state court?
I have not.
Have you ever argued a motion in federal court?
No.
When's the last time you read the federal rules of civil procedure?
The federal rules of civil procedure. I have. In my current position, I obviously don't need to stay as,
I'll just be this, so exactly what is it you do fucking know?
We do have at the Federal Election Commission.
Now he's choking.
Who work under our.
Listen, Mr. Trump told me I'd just be appointed judge here. I didn't know I had to actually answer your questions.
We oversee that litigation. We advise them on overall legal strategy, provide recommendations and edits
fucking gold
and so forth, and meet with them about how we're going to handle it.
If I could ask you this, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're only given 5 minutes for 5 of you. So,
sure.
When's the last time you read the federal rules of evidence?
The federal rules of evidence all the way through would, well, comprehensively would have been in law school.
At this point, I just ask, have you ever watched Judge Judy?
Involved in when I was an associate. That was something that we had to stay closely abreast of, and there have been some issues dealing with evidentiary issues that will cause me to examine those periodically in
listen to him stumble
the Federal Election Commission.
Okay. Well, as a trial judge, you're obviously going to have witnesses.
Yes.
Can you tell me what the Dober standard is?
No.
Senator Kennedy, I don't have that readily at my disposal, but I would be happy to take.
This guy is going to be a federal judge.
That is not something that I've had to.
And people wonder why I don't respect the law. It's the justice system.
Yes, I haven't. I'm again. My background is not.
My background's not in law here.
As when I was replying to Chairman Grassley, I haven't had to again do a deep dive, and I understand, and I appreciate this line of questioning. I understand the challenge that would be ahead of me if I were fortunate enough to become a district court judge. I understand that that the path that many successful district court judges have taken has been a different one than I have taken. Mm-hmm. But as I mentioned in my earlier answer, I believe that the path that I have taken to be one who's been in a decision-making role on, I would guess now, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 enforcement matters. Mm-hmm.
Well, needless to say, this guy will not be a federal judge. And it's funny too, because they're actually fighting back. Of course, they're stating that it was a partisan witch hunt, even though the guy that fucking interviewed him is a hardcore Republican from Louisiana who supported Trump like on everything. Long story short, this guy is Donald Trump's attorney's buddy. I don't know, dude. Like when you're in politics and you're giving your buddies jobs, you're supposed to give them the ambassadorship to fucking, hey, we're going to give you the ambassador to fucking Tahiti, bro. You don't have to do anything. We're going to get a free fucking apartment in Tahiti, and you're going to get a driver. It's a great job. Great job. You don't do anything, and you're going to make like $400K a year. You don't tell your buddy, listen, I got a job for you. Fuck. We're going to make you a district federal judge in the Court of District of Columbia that handles the biggest cases in America before it goes to the Supreme Court. The only catch is you have to fucking do whatever we tell you, right? But yeah, but I don't have any experience in this at all. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just it's a quick little hearing, and they're not really going to ask anything. It's all Republicans up there. They're not going to ask you anything. And then, buddy, have you ever watched Judge Judy before? Have you ever seen a courtroom before? Have you ever watched Law and Order before? Like I expected this guy to bust out. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Like a gambling guy. Yeah, I appreciate the line of questioning here. I really do. What's he saying there? Yeah, I appreciate you making me look like a fucking idiot in front of America here, but I really appreciate you asking me these questions. I actually know more about the law than this guy does. I like though when he just asks like simple questions. You ever heard of a disclosure report? No. Do you know what a deposition is? No. How can you be a federal fucking judge? I thought it was just too funny. I had to play that. Yeah, I'll say this, and I know Drew loves Trump, but I'll say this, Drew. I don't think Trump knows who the fuck this guy is. And I guarantee you right now, Trump's fucking bitching at his fucking buddy Dan McGahn there saying, what are you, a fucking idiot? Like, really? You put this guy out here to be a judge? I don't think Trump knows. Fuck, Trump's fucking lawyer, buddy. He's fucking doing the hiring and shit. You think Trump's hiring judges? Come on. Trump's watching Janine Pereiro, fuck, He's watching Sean Hannity, fuck. He ain't hiring any judges. He isn't like, I even saw a guy say this tonight, basically say, yeah, Trump doesn't fucking hire judges. He doesn't know. Like, so it's not like Trump is sitting there, oh yeah, let's hire this guy, but it's Trump's buddy. It's an overall picture. Basically, it's a joke to them, A first-year law student, a fucking stripper has better qualifications. A first-year law student. That's not, this guy wasn't like, this guy's an idiot. Like, that's the only way of putting it. He's an idiot. All right. So what happened in the what do we get here in the final here? Hey, where's Mick at? Mick's in Ottawa right now? Hey, seriously, Barry, remember that commercial? I know it's been, that ad hasn't been on TV for a while, but it's one of those deals where, remember the doctor, like, are you a doctor at all? No, but I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express last night. Like, I was expecting the guy to drop that. Listen, everyone settle down. I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express, and everyone starts laughing. Oh, all right, you're hired. I stayed in the Holiday. You remember those ads? Well, the other one that are good, the airline one. Remember when the referee like makes the wrong call and they're like, want to get out of here? Like, can you imagine this guy thinking, fucking, oh man. You can sort of see his heart sink. What's the deal? They playing a hockey game in Ottawa or something outdoors? They must be, because I see all these fuckhead media types in Ottawa right now. Them in their fucking heritage games. Gary Clueless answers on Twitter. He says, yeah, Simon Fraser are in the NCAA. And they get smoked on a weekly basis. They're trying to get better. Yeah, the Southwest want to get away. Yeah, remember that you want to get away commercial? Like that's that type of deal. You know what though, guys? Seriously, that interview gives me confidence to apply for any job right now. Like any job, I swear to God, I could show up at any job interview and do better than this guy did for that. And, you know, like really just, you know, the guy's got balls, man. Take a chance. Show up for an interview you have no qualifications for. I like when George Costanza said, I got to give a speech on risk management for the Yankees. And Jerry says to him, why do you have to give a speech on risk management? What do you know about risk management? And George goes, I don't know. It might be in my resume. Just make it up. I should just tell people, yeah, I worked 13 years for ESPN San Diego. And I was the lead sports director in Omaha, Nebraska for 9 years. All right. So yeah, the Australian Basketball League, I'm losing a little luster for here, guys, to be honest. All right, we hit the over and we hit the over in this 74-59 right now. So UC Davis goes over the number. We don't get the UC Davis side, but we take the split. Not a bad night of winners. Not a bad night of winners when we add it all up. All right, guys. So listen, I'll take a quick break. I'll come back and I'll blast through. I gave you the bowl picks. You guys, best bets. I say the bets over and over. We just talked about the college football. I can't sit here on a loop just saying, I like this, I like this, I like this. Like, you know, I'm not just going to do that, right? Yeah, remember that line, Tommy C? I don't know. It was on my resume or something. It's on my resume. I don't know. The generosity of his pad. Yeah, I hate my job. Yeah, George Costanza is a great liar. It's like when the kid lies to him. Yeah, I'm the president of the chess club, state champs. He's like, oh yeah, who's your favorite player? Neshkin. He's like, and the kid's like, he goes, I'm lying. I love George. And George tells him, he goes, no, what are you telling me for? You really had me going. I think the power of lying to people in this world is grossly underrated. Like, honestly, if you just have balls to lie to people all the time, you'll make a lot of money and go far in this world. That's why politicians make money and go far in this world. If you can just like be bold enough to look into the camera in anyone's face and just say, these are the best shoes ever. That's why they're $500. All right. So yeah, we haven't talked NFL. But we'll take a quick break here. I'll blast through some NFL, look at the line movement, share my thoughts on the NFL card. I went over the bowl games, gave you the picks. I'll recap the bowl picks as well. Yeah, it's not a lie. Remember, if you believe it. But it's George's delivery. Jason Alexander, he's very good. The delivery, I don't know. It's in my resume or something. Yeah, not a lie if you believe it. Would I take the Wild against the Oilers in the 11 a.m. game? It's a mid-season hockey game here, Talad. Anything can fucking happen. The Oilers suck, though, all right? The Oilers are way overrated. Why are they playing at 11 a.m.? Is it Hockey Day in Canada or something? One of these fucking things again tomorrow? Yeah, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it must be, eh? Oilers at Wild, 2 in the afternoon. Dude, I've been out of money on the bowl games. There's NFL games tomorrow. I'm not betting on the Oilers and the Wild at 2 in the afternoon tomorrow afternoon. Afternoon. Now I'm getting tired late. So yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back. I'll give you my picks. NFL picks tomorrow, too, guys. There's NFL tomorrow. You got to wake up. Wake up, everyone. NFL tomorrow. I don't know where Mick is. My phone's been off. Mick's not on Twitter. Like I said, we'll get Mick on the Betcast on Sunday with Big Man. I like how Mick busts Big Man's balls. Yeah, so we'll take a quick break. On the other side, I'll rattle off some NFL picks. I really like the NFL card this week, and I like the games tomorrow. I like both games tomorrow now. I'm in on both of them, baby. I'm actually excited for the NFL weekend this weekend. You know, it'll be a lot of crap games. There'll be a few good ones, but I'm talking about for betting purposes. For betting purposes, I think we're gonna have a nice weekend here. I'm focused. One of the reasons why I didn't go to the Christmas party tonight. I got a lot of things to do. I don't want to be hungover and sick and shit. Keep my eye on the prize, baby. Any thoughts on who? SFA versus LSU. What, basketball tomorrow? No. I'm focusing in on the college football tomorrow. I'm betting NFL tomorrow, and I'm betting the UFC tomorrow. Those are the 3 things, sports, I'll be betting tomorrow. Oh, and I'm going to bet Syracuse in the morning. I like Syracuse to beat Georgetown. You want to pick? Syracuse beat Georgetown. That's not true at all, Go Sons. Smoking weed at night doesn't prevent hangovers, trust me. If it did, I'd never be fucking hungover. Smoking weed prevents. Smoking weed can help a hangover in the morning for a few minutes. It's like you get a little, weed can help a hangover a bit the next day in the afternoon, but smoking weed, no. Drinking water helps before you go to sleep. Smoking weed doesn't help your hangover. Like the night before. I wish it did, trust me. I wish it did. Supposedly the best thing for a hangover, I've never done it, is baby formula. Baby formula. I was reading that's what a lot of athletes use and actors and shit. They get all fucking coked up and wasted all night. They got to be on the set at 7 a.m. Electrolytes, like baby drinks. Supposedly baby drinks do real good for hangovers. I mean, everyone has the little things, Gatorade, water, fucking greasy food, etc. But if you really want to raise it up a notch there, the electrolytes and like not from a Gatorade, but like so the baby formula has the best thing. It was George Clooney I saw was saying that. I figured George Clooney's probably been in a couple of big parties in his day and had to be somewhere in the morning. So, you know, that's what those big time Hollywood actors pound back. They got fucking baby formula in the fucking cupboard. Yeah, it's big. That's it. Pedialyte. That's the shit. Baby Gatorade. Yeah, exactly. Baby Gatorade. All right, I got to get something to eat. I can't be here all night, so I'll rattle off some picks for you guys since I know you're all degenerates. I like the Chicago Bears tomorrow, but I'm going to tease the Bears. I'll tell you what, the last 3 times the Detroit Lions have played the Chicago Bears, it's been a 3-point game exactly. All right? The 4th time that they played, it was a 4-point game. You want to go back 5 games ago, it was a 3-point game. 4 of the last 5 times the Bears and the Lions have played, it's been exactly a 3-point game. The other time was a 4-point game. You have to go all the way back to 2014. You have to go back to 2014 to find a game that was decided by more than 6 points between these two teams. It's going to be close. The Lions, every week is close. Every week I say the same thing. Tease the dog in the Lions game. And I'm finally going to do what I fucking tell people to do tomorrow. It's not sexy to take the Bears. I know. The Lions aren't good favorites, though. And I think the Bears probably even covered a 5, and they probably lose by 3. I'm telling you, every fucking game the Lions playing is a 3-point game. Every game. It's like with the Bears against everybody. So tomorrow's going to be no different. The Lions are having a hard time stopping the run recently, all right? They're beat up in the middle. It's just the end of the year. They're having a hard time with this. So I would expect that both Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard both pound the ball a lot tomorrow. Trubisky hands the ball off. They play sort of smash mouth. Detroit does their thing where Stafford throws the ball 38 fucking times and, rally back for a 3-point win. Detroit's going to win the game most likely, but probably close. And on top of that, I will say that I like a teaser in this game a lot. Give me the Chicago Bears teased up to +12 over 36.5. I think the Bears are to play at +5 even, to be honest with you, too. I'm giving you a little history here. If the Lions blow them out, the Lions blow them out. Listen, the Bears are going back-to-back on the road. I don't like that too much, but Chicago to Detroit's not a major road trip. The Bears hang around in this game. Lions win a close one. I like the Bears plus the points, but I like it in a teaser a lot. And if you're patient, you can mix it up with college too. There's a good teaser right there. Chicago Bears +12, Oregon Ducks down to a pick 'em. And they're both at the same time, these games too, right around 4 o'clock or 3:30 and all that shit. So it'll be going on at the same time. So I like the Chicago Bears +5. And I'm going to tease the Bears to +12 to over 36.5. The Saturday night game tomorrow night, I like a lot too. Here, if you're patient and you want to do a 2-team NFL teaser, Chicago Bears +12, Kansas City Chiefs +8. It's amazing that the 2 tease teams are playing tomorrow. I'm an idiot. For the last 5 years, if you just teased every Chargers and Lions game, like those 2 together, Take the underdog in the Chargers game and the underdog in the Lions game to a teaser. Like, you'll win 90% of the fucking time. So I'm going to do it tomorrow, man. Give me the Chicago Bears plus 12 and the Kansas City Chiefs plus 8. Every San Diego to LA Charger game is fucking close. San Diego Chargers, LA Chargers. I don't give a shit. They play close games. Chargers are on a 4-game win streak. They're a trendy team right now. They're overrated. They beat Nate Peterman in his first ever career start, and he threw 5 picks. They beat the Cleveland Browns, and they didn't even cover against the Browns. They beat the Cowboys 2 days after fucking Elliott got suspended again. And Tyron Smith was out and Sean Lee was out, and the Cowboys were at their low point collapse. They played the Redskins last week, who have quit 3 weeks ago. The Chargers haven't played against a good team in like fucking, a long time. Now they're going on the road against Kansas City, whose offense is starting to dial it up again. I like the Chiefs a lot in this game tomorrow. I don't need a teaser, whatever. The Chiefs are going to beat them, but it's a nice teaser right there. Chicago Bears plus 12, Kansas City Chiefs plus 8. Then we get into Sunday's games. No strong opinion on the Cards and the Redskins. If I had to bet it, I would bet the Cards, but I don't have a pick for it. Baltimore, Cleveland, same thing. No interest. Cincinnati and Minnesota is interesting. Cincinnati are tapped out. They're beat up. Marvin Lewis is going to get fired for sure. Well, you figure. I don't know. You figure he would. But something interesting about this is Mike Zimmer was the defensive coordinator for a long time for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's good friends with Marvin Lewis. He's not going to run the score up. He won't embarrass Marvin Lewis. Zimmer's a class act, and they're good friends. So he's not going to run the score up on him. I wouldn't be shocked if the Vikings can cover. I'm just giving you a warning here. Vikings aren't really a double-digit favorite ever to begin with. And don't be shocked if the Vikings get out of this game sort of with a 7 or a 10-point win. They're not going to go for the jugular and run the score up or anything on fucking Marvin Lewis. Like, I guarantee it. But I don't like this game. I'm just throwing out that little angle there for you. The Packers and the Panthers, real interesting football game, this one. Aaron Rodgers has come back twice from injury late in the season before. He's gotten hurt twice in his career. And both times he didn't get hurt where he was out for the entire year. He came back late in the year both times. Both times in the first game back, he fucking lit it up. He threw for 404 yards and 318 yards. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 return games. So, and they're saying Aaron Rodgers has been on fire, actually. He's been throwing bullets in practice for the last couple of weeks. He just couldn't get hit. So now, like, they're saying he's 100%. But that doesn't mean they're going to win automatically. The Green Bay Packers defense isn't great. The Panthers are a good football team when they're on their A game. The thing is with this game is, I don't know. The Packers are on fire right now. I think you could tease the Packers up to plus 10, to be honest with you, in this one. I can't make a good argument for either team here. I can make an argument for the Packers. I can make an argument for the Panthers, but it wouldn't shock me if either team won the game. The total is 47. I think we're going to have a higher scoring game, though. I think Green Bay and Carolina are going to get after it. Fuck, Rodgers will do his thing, but Cam Newton's going to be running around doing his thing. I think it'll be a crazy, entertaining game. It's going to go over to 47. Houston and Jacksonville, no opinion. Buffalo Bills are going to beat Miami. They always beat Miami and Buffalo. Buffalo, it is what it is. Like, Miami always lose in Buffalo, and we always lose in Miami. It's been that way for fucking 30 years. I don't see any reason to change. The Bills are going back-to-back at home here. They played last week against the Colts in the snow. It's still going to be bad weather in Buffalo this week. It's going to be cold and flurries, but not a blizzard like last week, but it'll be a little colder. So it's going to be cold, windy, nasty day in Buffalo. The Dolphins don't like that shit. Cutler won't deal with it well. The Dolphins are coming off a short week. Just played on Monday Night Football. Teams always lose after they play on Monday Night Football the next game. And it's going to be hard for them to get as high up for the Bills as it was against the Patriots, even though this is a big game for them. This is a playoff eliminator. The Bills are in the playoffs right now. I know it doesn't seem like it, but the Buffalo Bills are in the playoffs right now. Like, the Bills control their own destiny. It's kind of weird. I'm not used to this. But we're going to win this one. And we're going to go to 8-6. And we're going to continue to be in the playoffs. I didn't think the Bills could make the playoffs, but I'm starting to. I don't have my hopes up. I'll put it that way, but it's getting real. I mean, there's 3 games left, and normally in the past like 17 years, we haven't made the playoffs. And normally there's been a couple of times where at this time of the year, it's like, well, if we win out and this team loses, maybe we can make it. That's not the case this year. Baltimore losing was big the other night for the Bills. Look, I was reading the Baltimore newspaper the next day, and they were freaked out. They're like, fucking Bills now control it. And people in Baltimore want the Bills to lose now. The thing with the Bills, we get the Dolphins on Sunday. It's a winnable game. They'll win. They'll get to 8-6. But we got to go to Foxborough next week. Fuck. We're not going to beat the Patriots. I'd like to believe we could, but we just don't. We never do. So we're going to be 8-7. And then we wrap up the season at Miami, which is a winnable game. If we can beat the Dolphins this week and the Dolphins lose next week, they'll be tapped out. And by the time they'll be eliminated. The Dolphins will be all but eliminated with this win here. So the Bills have a puncher's chance of making it. I think the Bills could go 9-7, but the Bills could also choke and go 8-8. They could win this game, lose to the Pats, and then lose to the Dolphins, Pretty crazy, though. I know we have a lot of Bills fans who watch this show, like my boy Shano. That Bills game to wrap up the season against Miami might be for a playoff spot for us. Like, it might come down to that if we win, we're in type shit. And then the question is going to be, can we win? But the Bills will win this game. Tyrod Taylor is back. Tyrod Taylor's at quarterback, and Charles Clay's back. And Charles Clay is very good. It's a big difference. Charles Clay is like not one of the best tight ends in the NFL anymore, but he's still pretty good. And he's really he's the Bills' best wide receiver. Like, he was their leading touchdown receiver, yards. He was all that through the air. Tyrod Taylor loves throwing the ball to Clay. It's big that Clay's back. I like the Bills minus the 3. Jets and Saints spread down to 15. I'd like to take the Jets, but Bryce Petty's the quarterback, and he didn't look good last week coming in. Eagles and Giants. Here's a game that I'm going to tease. The Eagles are going to win. They'll probably cover as well. The Giants threw the kitchen sink at the Cowboys and still lost by 20 last week. They're spent. But I don't love that game. But I think the Eagles will win. The Eagles are a good teaser if you want to put them in with another money line team here, like the Vikings. Money line parlay. What's that pay? Not much, but 189. You could tease it to minus 120, 130. I think the Eagles aren't going to lose the game. Foles will be fine. And the Giants are terrible. The Eagles are going to win. The only question is by how many. They probably cover, to be honest. This next game I like a lot. I like Seattle to beat the Rams. I think the Rams are a good team, trending upwards, good young team. But I think that they're a little raw. And I don't care who's hurt. I heard about the injuries. Yeah, I am aware. People are hurt on Seattle. I heard that on that Sunday night. Oh, how are they going to beat Wentz without the Legion of Boom? How are they going to beat this team without this team? Because they have Russell Wilson. That's why. Oh, but their offensive line, they have Russell Wilson. That's very, very simple. This is a playoff game. This is for first place. Seattle beat LA earlier this year. Seattle win this game. They basically know, we're in. We won the division. This is for the division. They're going to own the tiebreaker with the win here. This is it. And, I got to only lay minus 130 on the money line or minus 2.5. I'll lay the 30 on the money line instead of 2.5. I'd rather lay money line minus 130 than 2.5 minus 110. But I'm getting Pete Carroll and I'm getting Russell Wilson on their home field in the month of December against a young team. Sign me up. Love the Seahawks. This Patriot game, Steeler game, I know it's the game of the week. I wish I could have a stronger opinion for you here, but I really don't. Logic says take the fucking Patriots, all right? Tom Brady's 28-4 off a loss. The Patriots have beaten the Steelers 8 out of the last 10 times that they played. Mike Tomlin's 2-6 against Belichick. Brady's Ben Roethlisberger's 3-9, I think, against Brady. 3-10 or something like that. It's ugly. Like the Patriots fucking dominate the Steelers, man. Just like the Steelers always beat the Bengals, the Patriots always beat the Steelers. But the Patriots are playing in the last 6 weeks. This is their 5th game away from Foxborough. They played that game in Mexico City too. There's been a lot of traveling, different time zones, different temperatures, different altitudes. The Patriots have been all over the place in the last 2 months, basically. It could catch up to them a bit. But the Patriots off a loss. They're playing for home field here. It's a tough game, man. And even the total, everyone loves the over. And you know I love overs, but I'm not sure this game turns into a track meet. I think the teaser is the way to go here. I'm going to tease the Pittsburgh Steelers to +10 over 47. Tennessee are imploding right now. Mularkey's a shitty coach. San Francisco's probably going to beat them. And the Sunday Nighter is a shitty game, but the Cowboys aren't dead yet. And I think the Cowboys are more solid than the Raiders. It's not my best bet, but we'll be betting because we'll be on for the betcast most likely. I don't know. We'll probably end up doing a night game, I would imagine. Unless we do the flex, I don't know. So to recap, my best bet, Chicago Bears +5. Chicago Bears teased with the Kansas City Chiefs to +8. Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Chargers +1. Green Bay Packers, Carolina Panthers over 47. Buffalo Bills -3. I like the Eagles to cover, but I'll probably figure out a way to put them in a teaser or a money line parlay. Love the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Rams. I'm going to tease the Steelers to +10 over 47. And the Titans-Niners game, I'm not in love with it, but I think the Titans are imploding. And speaking of imploding, my voice is imploding. And with the UFC tomorrow night, I like Robbie Lawler to beat Dos Anjos. I like Ricardo Lamas to beat Emmett. Ponzinibbio to beat Mike Perry. Glover Teixeira as an underdog against Serkinov. The Italian guy, Dershurko against Bambozi. Abe Trujillo to beat John Medeski. I like Chad Laprise a lot against Buffando. Laprise going to win this fight -160. Cannonier against Blachowicz -175. And Jordan Meehan -145. My best bets, Eric Silva's got a glass jaw. Jordan Meehan had a kid. He needs the money. He's clearly come back with a purpose here, even though I don't think he likes fighting anymore. Jordan Meehan's going to win the fight. You can get him as low as -130, 140, depending on your book. My best bets, Jordan Meehan to win the fight. This is what I'll bet bigger money on. Jordan Meehan to win the fight. Glover Teixeira. So Jordan Meehan -130. Glover Teixeira +135. Ponzinibbio -175. I'll put Ricardo Lamas in a parlay with something. And I'm going to play Robbie Lawler to beat Dos Anjos. I'll be on Twitter tomorrow. I'm going to get my website going. I had a little problem with GoDaddy. Not a big problem, whatever. I don't have a beef with them, really. It's sort of my fault, but I wanted to change something and whatever. It's led to a little bit of a delay here, but I'm going to get the site up and running in a day or two again. I've been so busy. But tomorrow I'll be on Twitter. And for those of you that are unaware, I'm on Patreon. And oh yeah, for the record, Patreon, it really pissed everyone off. Undid whatever pissed everyone off this week. I saw Patreon send an email out. We're sorry, we fucked up. We know we made a mistake. We're sorry. We're not doing anything we said we were going to do. And so in other words, Patreon will be out of business in about 6 months. Like I said, all these fucktards, man, what do you want, man? You want in the process and do everything for free? Like, I didn't even care. If they want to make an extra 2 points, make the extra 2 points. I find Patreon to be a very good service. I have no complaints. I was actually going to tell them that Twitter. I was going to say, everyone's ripping you, but I got no issues with you. Everyone doesn't like communism, but then as soon as someone tries to make money off of something, people bitch. How dare you? Like even this net neutrality stuff, I saw Drew retweet a guy that did have a good take on it. And listen, I'm not for Big Brother and I'm not for control and all this type of stuff. But at the same point in time, a lot of these companies are getting away with murder and making a lot of money off of other companies' backs, all right? Like I said, Druzilla tweeted out a guy that had a good thing about it, and he put it in layman's terms because no one really understands the net neutrality, but he put it in layman's terms. You know, he basically looked at like the Googles. It's basically YouTube and Twitter and Facebook are getting a free ride, okay? Zuckerberg's making all this money, and he's sucking up all this bandwidth in real estate, essentially. And what are the internet companies getting out of it? You know what I mean? It's like it's basically a war between rich people. Like it's not so much to fuck you. And another thing is somebody that's a content provider. Content is not free. You know, power is not free. The fiber optic cables that these companies spend $1 billion building underground is not free. Everyone's like, oh, fucking Verizon this, Verizon that. Listen, I'm not Captain Verizon. I'm not a lobbyist for Verizon. But why would Verizon spend billions of dollars building towers and cable lines and tunnels to give it away? Like, we live in a capitalistic society, people. Fuck, you know? And yeah, we talked about the Bulls. I'm not going to repeat it too much because we're ending the show now, but I'll tell you the best bets for the Bulls tomorrow. I'm taking North Texas +7. I'm going over 62. I'm taking North Texas +7, over 62. I'm taking over 53 in the Georgia State Western Kentucky game, although that's not a best bet, but I'll bet it. I'm going big on the Oregon Ducks -7 and over 60. I like Marshall to beat Colorado State outright. I like Arkansas State. Oh, it's down to 3 right now. Even better. Fuck. Arkansas State's going to easily beat Middle Tennessee State tomorrow night. College basketball, I'm taking Syracuse in the afternoon to get the day going against Georgetown. And for my picks, you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com @SportsRage. And as I stated, if you want to be in on the show tomorrow night, we do a very similar situation to this, except it's even looser because it's private. It's $5 a week, 2 shows a week. We pretty much go all night on Saturday night. We appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate the support from SPR. You guys should appreciate all the free shit that they're giving you as well, speaking of free stuff. So, hey, yeah. And those of you that I don't see on Patreon, I'll be on tomorrow morning at 10:30, 10:39, and 11:39 on the Dish Network, channel 262. Fantasy Sports Network, Ask Alexa to play. Amazon, fucking Echo, Google Homeworld, iHeartRadio, LinkedIn Radio, or TuneIn Radio. You fucking name it. Xbox, PlayStation. If there's a device, I'm on it. And I'll be on it at 10:39 and 11:39 tomorrow morning. And then Patreon tomorrow night. If you want info for that, just go to patreon.com/sportsrage. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.